This episode brought to you by Helm's Deep Woods Off. Now with more DEET.
Hey everybody, we're still watching Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, and you're still listening to Miscast Commentary.
Boom shaka laka.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd Tebow the Sailor Murray.
And we got more of a long movie for you here, baby. Part 2. If you were watching the Blu-ray or DVD, you are now on disc 2. If you are not, and you are using a digital copy of some format, we are sitting at 1 hour, 46 minutes, 33 seconds. We're still looking at, it should have paused when we cut to the beginning of the next scene.
Yep.
But you get the idea. Right now we're looking at Sean Astin, and he's kind of biting his
He's
lip.
got like a crinkly face, and Buddy looks like he's got a spider on him, like
Yeah.
a spider emblem.
But it's lost most of his legs.
yes,
And
he's
it's
been
got-
battling.
And yeah, exactly.
Still alive.
So much of that going on right now. But like, I don't know.
Life's a battle.
I'm kind of turned on by Sean Astin's little lip bite thing, because I like when
It looks
girls
like
bite
his
them.
O face.
Yeah.
It looks like totally his
it's
O
like,
face. Mine's terrifying.
Oh my god. I only look in the mirror when I see mine, so I think I'm just used to it now, but like it's but I think that's a story for another time. Let's just go ahead for now and press play.
Press play now.
Good time. So see, it was like
Oh, it
frames
was
off
like
of
a
being
weird,
the beginning. So we've got
almost, here
This
comes are those mountains in New Zealand?
yeah, those are
Beautiful.
mountains in New Zealand. I like this idea too. This is apparently something that was highlighted in the books, but the idea that dwarf women look exactly like dwarf men, so that's why they don't think there are dwarf women. So we
I love he's giggling. He's
Yeah.
telling her this ridiculous story.
Well, it must be nice, like in situations like this, like so many of these people they know of dwarves and elves, and I know, right?
I'm sure he says, "Oh, that's ridiculous," and then he does a pratfall.
But I like the idea because like these people know of all these different races and stuff, but probably don't see them a lot. So it's probably like really giddy and interesting to
Right.
do this kind of thing. Although her brother just died, or no, her cousin just died.
Yes.
But her brother's been banished though, so I mean she's been through a lot. But her God, her hair blowing in the wind. I like the thing.
Don't
I like
give
about
in to those sultry looks, Viggo.
the thing I like about her hair blowing in the wind is it's kind of messy.
Right.
Like it's like Liv Tyler's hair blowing in the wind looks like a silk sheet.
Oh my God, yes.
But like hers, like you see little frizzes and stuff like that, and she's got freckles.
She's just a human woman.
Yeah. Like, you know, her butt probably stinks. And
Is
stuff.
that what's her name from Brave?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that
eh?
the
It
chick from
looks like
Horizon Zero Dawn?
it. Now
Is
you're
it the
you're
same
out of,
one?
You're out of my element. But
Well,
I
I
don't-
just checking out a sword tip.
this was a weird scene for me. And this is an extended bit. And like because like she's so brave and being such a leader, and then here's I love you and I made you food, because that's what a woman does, right?
Look at all the fat on the top. It looks
Yeah.
good.
Oh, it's so
What,
good.
what the hell is that?
I do like this scene though because it's very light and just kind of like, but you also get a lot of information from it that they just leave out in the theatrical version. You never find out this information.
Oh no! I can't believe what they left out. I honestly cannot believe the shit that they left out of the theatrical cuts.
See, and
Especially
that's
like in the first one, even just a couple more shots of them walking through the bog. It makes the journey more like
oh, I love that. Burns.
like burns himself.
I love that so much. And I like this bit too. The idea that just to find out that he's older than everybody here.
Oh, yeah, he's an old man, eh?
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So never.
How is
guess
he looking
his
so
age.
good?
Because he is one of the Dunedain, blessed with a long life. He's 87 years old. There it is.
87.
But
whoa.
that freaked her out because she's like, I want to bang it. I want to bang an
a senior.
octogenarian.
Yeah, an octogenarian. They're called that because their buttholes are actually octagon shaped.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
And you know how I know? Because Tito Ortiz has been fighting in mine. I don't know why I went Tito Ortiz of all the former UFC people, but I didn't.
Dan the Natural Couture.
I didn't want. I didn't want it.
What about that guy that looks like Freddie Mercury? Does all the suplexes. He's got the big
Dan
Dan the
Severn.
Beast Severn.
Yes, he looks like if Freddie Mercury would have been accepted into the army.
That's
then,
right, and was on roids.
and was on a lot of roids.
Oh,
But he was under.
see,
a lot of
look,
pressure.
he's
Oh yeah,
he's thinking, he's like, shit, man, I can't go after that girl,
Well,
man. I promised that elf lady.
So he's out there smoking trees and then like
Getting
reflecting.
reflecting. Yeah. Oh, he's back with her now.
Yeah. I like these scenes. This is how this took them a long time because again they had to fix all that script stuff we talked about last week with the like she was going to be at Helm's Deep and stuff because that was the only chance to be in the movie. So it took them like the better part of a year of like script writing and stuff like that to get them
The house
to this
they can.
point. Well, it's the idea of you got to have these flashbacks and you're going to have the idea of her having to potentially go to the Undying Lands.
Right.
Would it be okay with you? Because you said last week that you didn't want him picking Miranda Otto. Is it okay if he picks her if she goes to the Undying Lands and takes the final boat?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, because I didn't know if you
Oh,
expected
yeah.
because he
No,
chose her
no.
to like pine and stuff
No, if
like
she
that.
fucks off, then she broke their pact. She
Yeah.
broke their she will have broken their love deal.
Mm-hmm. He really nails this language. So does she. I think that probably she is
Very breathy, eh?
she's the queen of speaking the Elvish language because everything she said, like she
Her
just
name was
has-
pretty good too, though.
What's that?
Um,
Kate Blanchett.
yes.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, none of them are bad at it, but I just feel like if the elves as designed in this were real, like that, she is the benchmark
Right.
of what it should sound.
She's the
like.
top.
because
She's the teacher.
because Kate Blanchett sounds, because of her deeper voice, sounds too authoritarian.
Right.
When like everything that the elves say should be poetry, you know. And
I
it
hear
looks like
that.
you could see her boob through.
Oh
that,
yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. Eh?
but
Oh.
it's just shiny. Imagine if she just whipped a tit out and that just was how this movie was.
it's
Like I've been watching this.
out.
I've been watching this for almost 2 hours. I watched 3.5 hours of the previous movie, and now Liv Tyler's getting out a titty.
Oh yeah.
And you can see like just like the outline of a bone.
It's crazy that they picked to her. Like she was great
Yeah.
in the role, but
Oh yeah.
why Liv Tyler above anybody?
But it's like everybody. It was like the idea of when they replaced what's his face. Keep forgetting his name. Who was originally supposed to be in this as Aragorn, but he was deemed too young looking and stuff like that. And they went with, and then they were just like, "Yep, get Viggo." And I'm like, what screams get Viggo? Like in his career and stuff
Right.
like that, right? Like not that he had a bad career.
No, but like
It's
what?
just
Yeah,
that,
I always
like-
wonder what people. I don't know. That's why these people, the casting people, they got the eye, man. They know.
Yeah, it's not like somebody who goes like, "Get me Sean Connery," because I know exactly what I'm getting from Sean Connery.
Right.
Like Viggo Mortensen in Daylight does not tell me that he's going to be Aragorn.
The best Aragorn
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, and to the point where it's like, well, yeah, like we need somebody who's going to be able to do this as.
Didn't
with
he
no
come
one-
in to try out for someone else?
No, he was not involved in this until about 2 weeks into shooting when they fired the other guy.
Who was it?
And that's what I'm saying. I keep forgetting who it is. It's Stuart Townsend.
Oh, it was Stuart Townsend.
Yeah, and they hired.
They didn't
him.
like him. How
he-
must that be for an actor to get on the set and 2 weeks later they're like, "We're not digging you, man. We're firing you."
I think none is worse than the Eric Stoltz and Back to
Yes.
the Future one because they were almost done.
Yeah, and then
Like,
they're
they
like,
had to-
"See you later."
Yeah, but the
One of the big guys was taken out of a movie too. Like not Pacino or one of those guys was in a movie, and it just. I think we watched it, and you said and then they fired him, and then they got. I can't remember which one it was.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know, but yeah, it's just like to me, and they did it right with every single person. Like even Orlando Bloom is exactly right for the role he plays in this, and he had never been in a thing before. Can you imagine that? This is like
He wasn't?
No, he auditioned out of school.
No shit. I don't think I was paying attention to the fucking
I
thing
think
very well.
I think he has a couple of credits to his name, but I mean,
Right.
literally, he was still in school. Like
She
that may have
gave
been
you that, bro.
like those may have been small roles that he got like while he was like during his summers off or something like that, just to say, hey, look I got some credits,
Right.
and like that kind of thing, right? But it's like, but yeah, if you look at his thing, like it was this, and then like this, and then Pirates of the Caribbean, back to back, and like. I don't understand how anything else isn't the most depressing thing in the world to you, right? Like it's just like, oh, I'm doing a movie.
Two big trilogies at the time, and now there's 12 fucking of those Pirates movies.
He does one where he plays like a young boxer. I can't remember what it was. And then there's the Cameron
Gladiator.
Crowe. Yeah, no. And then it was the what was it, the Cameron Crowe movie?
Almost Famous.
No, it's the one where he's like drives his dad's ashes across country or something like that.
Yeah.
But like those movies, I was like, how do those feel like anything but failures by comparison?
Here you go. It's about time all that love talk stopped and we had a big hyena rumble.
Right. So I like the design of these too. This was one of those things that nobody knew what a warg would look like when they did it, because they hadn't designed them when they were shooting this, so they couldn't even give it to him as reference. Like, this is what you're going to be fighting against. You just had people mostly sitting on barrels.
Right. And then you watch, they do the movie and it looks like a barrel. They just CG put in the exact same barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
it's like putting fake nipples over your nipples.
Yeah. This was originally supposed to be a night scene, but there were two problems. One, where they were shooting, they couldn't really get the nighttime shooting stuff up here.
Right.
It was the same problem with Edoras. That's why all the Edoras scenes are during the day, not during the night. Okay. They couldn't get that equipment up. But also they have, they do the Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep was 4 months of night shoots.
Oh.
Right? So they didn't want to put the crew through another couple of weeks of night
shooting.
Yeah,
I dig it. It's all night at the end, man. You can have some day scenes. It's a big fucking deal, right?
Well,
in the book, this scene takes place at mid-dusk.
Exactly.
Not the daytime.
They were eating their 11sies at the time.
Yeah, like, come on.
But, no, yeah. Well, and to me, I think it's probably for the best, because would you want every battle scene to be in the dark?
No, like,
you've got to have...
You got to mix it up.
Well, also, and sometimes people can accuse you of like hiding stuff,
right?
Like bad CG
using
and
the
stuff,
using the dark
right?
to blend in things
to
and
show what this looks like in the day and stuff like that. Not to mention the fact that like they never had like all those horses are real, but then you have some scenes where there's so many horses, or obviously this, which everything's CG, right? Like. But like there's scenes,
just the guys.
I really like this, what they do with him here.
Whoop.
It's just this little hop. It's like they did
looks really good.
They did a really great job making him look cool as shit. And they did. I did mention this in the last movie, like when we did the first Lord of the Rings. But he would have, had they struck while the iron was hot, he would have made a fantastic Link.
Yes,
to make a
I agree.
Legend of Zelda. And
I think that they should go the route of like Peter Pan. Henry Rollins should play Link or Zelda.
There you go.
I think that they could even possibly get a woman to play Link. He's got very feminine features. Peter Pan was a woman a lot of the time.
Yes. Well, that was for stage. He was always played by a woman.
Yeah.
But
why was that?
I don't know. I think that they just the first time they did it. And I don't
know
if
it went
who
well.
It was. Like I don't, and then it was just they just like because you know how what's it called superstitious actors can be and stuff like that, right? Or like and just in stage in general and stuff like that. I think the one thing they failed to make the wargs, because like in this the wargs are really just animals that they ride, but in like even in the Hobbit they're kind of a race, right? Although they're always being ridden, but I would have liked to have seen them be a little bit more brutal on their own,
right?
Like just see one just tearing into one of those guys instead of just tackling him,
right? Well, the movie's PG, isn't it?
PG-13, but again, as long as you're not doing it to humans.
But that's an animal.
Yeah. See,
oh yeah, I got a little oh yeah.
So
I had that happen with a toothpick once. It was awful.
I don't remember what scene, but they said during one of the battle scenes, Viggo broke his tooth, and he said that they wanted to use it. He wanted to use it like the pain and stuff. He was literally like super glue it in, and I'll just use the pain in the scene. right? And then like Barry
That's
Osborne,
badass.
and then Barry Osborne shut him down. They're like, no, you're going to a dentist. You're gonna.
He's like, come on, I want to man up.
Well, and Barry Osborne is a real badass in this. We talked about him in the first movie too. How like they had a problem with the raft, Buckleberry Ferry, and he got out like his army manual and they put it back together themselves. Like
Which one? Who is this guy?
Barry Osborne is the producer of the movie. Right, like, and
he's a real jack of all trades kind of a guy.
Like, he's a real get him. He did like the. He's got an interesting thing because he's a New Line guy and stuff like that. Like he did the, what's it called, Nightmare on Elm Street movies and stuff like that. He's got a pretty interesting career. But he was a very hands-on.
That's what I was gonna say. Hands. I like that kind of thing. He's not afraid to like. I'm getting in there. You need this boat fixed? Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
And again, you're expecting commitment from all of these people for a year to 5 years. So this guy's very interesting. And you know why he's interesting? This man is Jed Brophy, who plays Nori, the dwarf, in The Hobbit.
No.
Yeah.
Ah.
So he actually plays 2 orcs in this. I don't remember. I couldn't figure out who the second one was. They had the name as Sharku or something like that. But I couldn't find a picture of which one he was exactly. But
oh, he's got like something bolted into his forehead there or something.
It's like his skull's been cracked.
So okay, they like friggin' fixed him up. He's probably got a headache forever. Oh, it must be awful. Must suck being an orc.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great.
Ugh.
You imagine if you were like kind of like into a human, and you're just like, oh, you know.
There should be good orcs. There should be a story about a good orc.
Yeah.
You know? He doesn't want to fuck with all these guys. He's like, fuck this bullshit.
Philip the good orc.
Fuck you, Dad. I don't want to be an orc.
Yeah. And then like they're like, man flesh. And he's like, that's no way to treat people.
The wolves of Isengard will return.
This is very...
Whoa.
That's very sad. Like, because he does have so many layers to him, right? Like he has to make these hard decisions.
Yep, that's what you got to do, man. In the middle
of something like this,
you can't be sitting around lamenting. You know, it sucks, but
yeah. Well, and the thing too is like he's as close to Aragorn as anybody.
Yep.
He's known them he's known Legolas since he was a kid. Aragorn has, but so has Theoden, and it has a little bit more gravitas because they're mortal, right? So it's like I've known him my whole life. Like I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
And he's been around for all of it. Whereas Legolas is like, yeah, I lived for like thousands of years before I met him, and I'll live for thousands of years after I meet him. Like it's just
you go to Comic-Cons. I've never been. Is this a true thing? I heard that if you go up to a girl dressed as anybody from Middle Earth-esque area and you say, I'm gonna get all Helm's Deep up in that ass, girl, they will literally bang you right there.
If they are movie appropriate and if you are dressed accurately. So if you're wearing...
I also have to be a Middle Earth garb.
Like if you say you're like a Gondorian knight and you've got like Edoras Greaves on, you're
out. You're out.
You're not going
Yeah, no, come on. Who the fuck? I wouldn't even sleep with that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm a slut.
Yeah. You're gonna be relegated to the dead marshes.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
I like a little stink.
Yeah.
It's like the bottom feeder. Look at this fish humping Mr. Scuba Man. That's you. Hey, sometimes they got gold teeth and shit, and I'm allowed to pilfer those when I'm done.
Absolutely.
She's all heartbroken over the man she can't have anyways.
Look at the line. Like that man, everything.
Who's that guy?
Bernard Hill.
Bernard, good old Bernie.
Like I said in the last one, he was the captain on the Titanic. There's a lot of British, like he's got like hundreds of credits, but it's all like British shit.
That's fucking awesome. I could be that guy. What awesome makeup. So is she like on a stool standing on something, or no? That's the
He's
midget.
On his
That's
knee.
Okay.
Well, like from that angle, it's probably the scale double.
Yeah, right there.
But like it's probably like they go super lo-fi as often as they can, and he probably literally was just sitting on his knees. Which I feel bad because he's an old man. Like he's
right.
Like,
well, everybody's half dead, anyways. You said they're all injured and fucked up, and
well, and they did a lot of things too, where like they would like dig out a hole for somebody so they could stand, or like when they build the sets, they build like a divot in the set so he can stand in the hole and be the right size. But like even scenes like in the next one.
Oh my god, what a scene this is coming up!
I know.
Oh. I think this is one of the best like battle scenes of all time, man.
Well, and it's kind of funny.
What a fucking movie.
The idea, like it didn't even really occur to me as they were doing this, but the idea of a bomb in this world is unheard of.
Yeah.
Like it's
Exactly. That's why they had no idea it was coming, right? That's why the wizard had to cook this shit up.
Exactly.
Exploding kidney beans.
and I love this little bit. He's like, oh, what does this fire do? Or how does fire make this blow up? Get the fire away from this, you asshole.
Get the fuck. Not Wormtongue's total fault. And at least he wasn't brutal with him. He's just like, don't bring that near that again.
Yeah.
If I gotta tell you again, you're fucked.
Can I call this a lesson?
Yeah.
I would really like. I really like his staff. That's a great
badass.
staff. This is great because they tried to explain, because obviously they're not seeing this. It's just a giant green screen. But they actually, they explained to him as best they could what he was looking at. And when he's sitting there, you can actually see a tear roll down his eye.
Wormtongue?
Yeah.
Well, you can see him tearing up right now.
Like he cries on command, right? So when he did that, he's like, well, something like this would bring a tear to my, I'd be so impressed and frightened.
Right.
And all this.
He's got a terror boner. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the name of our new band. Terror Boner.
Leave none. So if this thing promise me right now that if we do big on this, right, and we get some cash.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. He's like Demi Moore. Pick an eye. Left this time. Single tear. 'Cause Demi could just turn it on, man.
Nice.
I want to have in the superhero movies, where we will have a joint room.
Yeah.
That's different from the joint room.
Yes.
Okay. And, when Batman goes and he's got the bat suit, I want to have all the Star Wars suits. We can wear them, made for us. So if we want to be a stormtrooper, we can be a stormtrooper.
So I got to lose.
If you want to be Boba Fett, no, fuck, man. They're going to make it for us. And then, we'll have all the Lord of the Rings, and we can just dress whatever we want to. Any day. You know what? I want to be Buddy from Rivendell. I want to be this guy. I'm going to dress up like him.
Oh, God.
But just perfect.
Nice.
We will own Comic-Con. We will be the darlings of Comic-Con. Forget that Asian lady with the big tits that always wins the contest. This is us. Our big titties are going to win every year.
Nice. I want to speak to you because you mentioned the superhero movies and stuff. There's a movie that's coming out that is called Avengers of Justice Farce Wars. It's another one of those horrible, beyond, not scary.
It's like a
not
Justice,
movie.
yeah, exactly. It's a spoof of all the super. It's about time. Where's this been?
I know. So this one it covers the superhero movies and the Star Wars movies. It stars Amy Smart as Jean Wonder, who has Steve Ranazizi from.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, from the League.
The League
plays Superbat, and Shawn Michaels plays the incredible Master Yoga.
What?
Yeah, this is.
Oh my God, Shawn Michaels, all cross-eyed, getting some movie roles now.
Crazy! Oh,
he's more cross-eyed than ever.
He looks horrible.
He's taking too many of his own super kicks to the face.
He looks like he's been kicked by a donkey every day since he stopped wrestling. He looks beat.
One day it kicks it straight, next day he kicks it back cross-eyed.
Yeah, it's.
Then he kicks it wall-eyed. Oh, like his buddy came back to get him.
Yeah, so here's the there's the cover for it just to show you exactly how bad it is.
That looks like the cheapest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah, it cost about $40 to make.
Horse breath, buddy. That'll get you awake. Look at this horse. What a good horse.
How they were devastatingly scared because usually when horses do that, their next thing is to roll over. They're if they do that, he's going to roll over on his head. So they were really scared when this was happening. I like this shot a lot, but it does not fit in this movie.
I agree with you. This is from this is Oliver Stone directed that shot right there.
Literally was
and done.
Literally was going to say it looks like it was in a cut scene from Natural Born Killers. So it's
yeah. My hand's up here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
My hand has been up for 35 minutes.
I was just looking down in shame. I apologize. Just general shame. Nothing specific.
He's shaming his daughter right now for loving a human man.
Hugo,
he said if you guys he's going to live for a long time too.
Yeah. I felt bad. He's not Megatron anymore.
They went back. God.
Well, Frank, I know. But I'm just saying.
Don't feel bad.
Well, because
I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Get out of that fucking stink tank.
Well, Frank Welker's Megatron again, so that makes sense. But
is he the real Megatron's voice?
He was the original Megatron. As well as the voice of Santa's little helper.
Ooh.
He has more voice roles than every other actor
the dog
combined
barking?
has roles. Yeah, he does more animals than anybody.
That's hilarious.
IMDb him. It's
what the
insane.
fuck?
It's insane.
Oh,
She is a crazy amount of beautiful.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Her sister is also really beautiful. She's a plus size model, and she looks just like her,
Oh
just
my
a
God,
little
she's
bit bigger.
gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Oh,
I like that they started throwing in the plus size models. I looked at the new Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and I guess starting with last year, the year before, they have all types of different body types. There's a girl with no leg. There's big girls, skinny girls. It's awesome.
just they got to be able to swim. And
She can swim.
No legs.
Swimsuit.
Yeah.
Gotta be able to wear a swimsuit.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with swimming.
No, you should. No, if you wear a swimsuit, you should be able to.
Oh my God!
No, I'm sure
they're gonna put him next to Han Solo in the
I know.
in the friggin' in Jabba's room there.
Well, that's kind of what I wondered. But this is kind of
He
a
should have
sad-
been next to him. Imagine that in
that
Star
would've been
Wars.
amazing. This is kind of a sad thing though. This isn't something I thought about. And then when he kind of described this to her, I got sad. I was just kind of like, oh, because it's true. Like
Yeah,
literally,
he's gonna die, and you're gonna be alive for a long
but
time
not
after.
Not just he's gonna die.
Everybody.
Everyone's gonna die, and you're going to be here by yourself, just standing about it. Like,
See, that's the problem. It's like go home with everybody,
look, the trees are dying, but you're
or
still alive.
right, or stay here alone for the rest of your eternity.
Yeah.
I'm sure what you can't show up late to that party. Like Jesus Christ, you're the fucking princess or whatever.
I know.
Oh yeah, a lot of single tears in this one.
Yeah, I'm glad she got this not. And not
Single
Alicia
tear, the
Silverstone.
two towers.
Did they take this shot right out of?
Janie's got a gun.
No.
That's after Daddy. What did your daddy do?
Yeah. No, I was-
Put his finger in your poo poo.
I was thinking Armageddon. Like this is the scene when he's talking to Bruce Willis.
I love him. It's Ben Affleck. I love him.
Yeah. If I had to pick only one of you to come home, it would be Ben Affleck.
I pick Viggo. Fuck that loser.
Can I? Do you want me to explain the plot of Batman versus Superman? Okay, forget it. You come home.
Anybody that can explain the plot of Batman versus Superman gets to go home with her.
Well, the
Nobody's
problem-
going home with her.
It's no, the plot's easy.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it.
No, it's so dumb that it is unexplainable.
Well, I described it. We were talking about it, and I described it as it's like when you have one of those dreams that's just really choppy and incomplete, where you're like, okay, yeah, so I was at like the store, and you were you, but you weren't you. You looked like somebody else, and then we were at the mall, and then it was like, and then we were like fighting zombies, and then I was at piano lessons, and you were eating a pie, and then it was like that was.
I
Like
had the exact same dream.
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, look at that dirty look, Dad.
Oh, look at that
Ooh,
one.
he's like, shit, I can't handle this look.
He's like, you look like you're gonna go fuck him when I just told you not to go
Yeah,
fuck him.
he's like, fuck being a dad, man. He's like, damn it.
Hey, why have I had to be like you are like 4,000 years old?
This-
I shouldn't have to still be your daddy.
When we,
like
for real, right?
like you
How
should
much
have your
hand
shit-
holding do we need here?
Oh, Kate Blanchett. You
See, like
beautiful,
in
wonderful
our like Lord of the Rings, you know, theme park kind of city slickers thing, you could be eating outside, and then the procession of elves come. You got to have music playing though too, right? You got to be able to hear the music. You know what I mean? So
sure.
you're sitting there, and then this tune comes in, and then oh my god, and the lanterns come in, and all the beautiful elf ladies and dudes. You gotta have both, right?
Yeah, for sure. She's
ran out of batteries.
yeah. My wife literally just killed the batteries on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because I will say, because I mean, she is an absolute trooper, and I will say this to her face because she gets relegated to the bedroom.
Says a lot of things behind your back, but this one he's gonna say to your face.
Yeah, you betcha. But she puts up with a lot with having to get kicked out of the room because we don't have like a basement to go and do this stuff in. So she ends up going to the room. But now that we have a Nintendo Switch and she likes The Legend of Zelda, she's pretty okay with it.
She doesn't
At
want to
least
leave
today.
the room. Oh no! The deeper you get into Zelda, man, it's over.
Yeah.
Relationship is over. Just let her go, man.
All
Whatever.
right.
She lives in Hyrule now.
All right. It's just you and me, buddy.
See you in the unemployment line of Hyrule. Fuck that. I'm going
Isn't
too.
the unemployment line just like a big stack of like pots that you just smash and find rupees?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
That's how Ocarina of Time worked for me. I don't think I ever beat the game, but I was the richest man in Hyrule. What do you do?
They all ring there. I know somebody who got married and they have the 2 rings.
What? Like?
Oh, is it you?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, it is you.
Yeah, I designed these.
I love
rings.
it.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
But yeah, I'm really proud of these rings because I literally drew them up and gave them to the jeweler and he made them.
They're Lord of the Rings inspired though, right?
No.
Oh, I thought they were.
No.
That is a cool ring though.
It's we just.
I know somebody who got the actual rings, like the one ring, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. People have done that.
Yeah.
But Carrie had the idea of infinity being important in the thing. So I was like, well, what if the whole ring was infinity? And then what if your ring was inside of my ring? So literally, like, if you stripped out...
That's how you guys like to play, huh?
It's exactly her ring.
Oh, that is really neat.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, actually.
So we were creative for a time.
See?
Then
That's
we
what I'm
had
fucking
kids and
talking
fell
about.
apart.
Infinity.
Right?
Just like Lord of the Rings, man.
And then the
Not this
Infinity
bullshit.
Wars.
Not like, oh, like I'm bored or whatever, whatever the fuck's going on out there
So,
these days.
This map that they're actually looking at is a map that was directly from the books, and this map was actually drawn by J.R. Tolkien's son. So they just, I don't know if it was just a big ass photocopy or what, but
They actually got him to draw it.
yeah, well, they
Just like if you're gonna get anybody, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we can't get John Bonham, we'll get his son in our band. Fuck. It was all right then.
yeah, that seems fair.
I like this guy.
So-
You get a lot more story on him and his
Yeah.
brother in these extended editions too, which does a great, mucho dineros for the character development and just the story overall.
It really does. I like Faramir is probably of all of the characters, like he's not my favorite character, but he's the one I feel for the most. I think
This
in the
guy.
whole thing. Yeah, because he's doing everything for his father and his people.
Yeah.
and nobody gives a shit. But actually, Orlando Bloom, when he auditioned for this movie, he auditioned to play Faramir.
Oh, okay.
And then they basically looked at him and they're like, "No,
That's
you're
it
an elf."
then. That's the one. I knew somebody tried out for somebody else and they were like, no, we'll put you as this guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. I may have brought that up in the last movie. But
No, I don't think so. I just remember hearing it somewhere. But you might have. It was a year ago.
Yeah. But yeah, David Wenham, so he was in, like, beyond this movie, he was in Van Helsing, 300, he was the bad guy in the Iron Fist, he was in the latest Pirates of the Caribbean movie, he was in Peter Rabbit, that one that just came
Oh,
out,
sweet.
and he's in the new, I'm assuming it's a remake, but he's in the new In Like Flynn that's coming out.
And like Flynn?
It's like an old 60s movie
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
yeah. I don't really even know what it's about, but he's in it.
And like Flynn, baby.
Good looking feller.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they don't hire like ugly people in the movies, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of, like, he's not
He's rugged.
traditional.
He's manly.
And again, he's one of those guys where if you, like, broke it down and, like, you just had him looking normal, then he wouldn't look the same. Like, he wouldn't have
Right.
like,
Did you just hear? He just said Moira.
Moria.
Okay, so in
He
this
said Moria.
scene, what did he say?
Moria.
Oh, I think he said Moira.
Yeah.
Like Moira McTaggart.
No, not so much.
But, and you know what I also think, Sauron
Yes.
is also the guy that lives in the Savage Land. He's a big half pterodactyl, half human, and he hypnotizes you with his eyes. He's like a magician. You remember
Okay.
him from the X-Men?
No, not really.
Sauron, and I was just finding it funny that this guy Sauron is a magician here too, and then I'm thinking that he was
It's
Sauron
crossover.
here. It was done, whatever you call in homage. Sauron was bing.
Yeah, a few mispronunciations really helps you connect some dots.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you just said
Yeah.
Moira, so that means X-Men, right? Well, he didn't say Moira. Also, didn't say Sauron. He said Sauron. But other than that, you're
Pretty close.
You're on board.
You can see the parallel.
This was heartbreaking too, because then again, this was another thing I just didn't know that they were brothers.
Right.
So he says
They cut
Boromir.
so much out of these movies,
Yeah.
man.
Well, it was like, obviously you find out afterwards, right? But it was the idea that, like, just not, again, having not read the book when this came out and stuff like that, it was just bananas. I never understood if he saw him or if this is just a
This
weird
is
dream
new, right?
sequence.
This is added.
Yeah, I think this is added. But I think that the biggest service done to this, and everybody was insanely happy when they found out that they added their scene back in and stuff like that, because Sean Bean had already gone home and was called back.
That's what I was going to say. So he came
shoot
back
this
just to shoot that
Osgiliath
right there.
scene, right? And like he was like, so he thought he was all done, and then this scene happens, and this scene, not only is it the first time ever that a character in like a special edition has been introduced earlier than the theatrical edition,
Right.
but like just like
He was so good in the first one.
He was so
conflicted, man. He was really good.
But and this is what I like about this is you get to see the real Boromir in this one, because in the other one he's
The ring
obsessed
is
and he's
the
taken. and
ring
he's
is
like,
starting to
whatever.
get him, and
But now you get to see just Boromir the hero, right?
well, he was
And,
a hero in the end of the movie too. He
Yeah.
redeemed himself in my eyes.
But this, oh, absolutely.
He saved Marianne and Pippin.
But like this is just what a great scene. Like how Like, he must have been so happy to get this scene, right? Like,
And they come back and see the boys.
yeah.
Oh, they but it had a big circle jerk when he came back.
for
I'll bet you.
sure.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
For sure. And I just like this idea how they're so close, right? Like, he's like, oh, good to see you.
Is this the scene where he tells him, like, your brother tried to grab the ring and blah, blah, blah? Or is that later?
That's coming
Right.
a little bit.
He doesn't believe
It's after
him.
he speaks to Gollum.
Right.
Right?
Oh, yeah, Gollum's out there still fucking around.
Yeah.
Man, we haven't seen the fucking Frodo and Buddy in forever.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The hell are they at?
Well, we did see Frodo just a minute ago.
Huh? Oh, he has big, huge eyeballs. That's right, yeah. Look just like that creeper from Sin City.
What, you mean him? Again?
Yes.
You mean Elijah Wood? Who
Exactly.
Was in Sin City? So here he is.
Here he is.
Whoa.
Jesus,
Yelling into this thing.
Jesus.
We're very close together, and you're talking into a microphone. No need to
I
scream.
can't help it. I get worked up.
Yeah. So this is what we're talking about. So John Noble, who plays Denethor here, he was only supposed to be in the third movie, and this extra scene introduces him a whole movie early. Right? I mean, only by months when you count when this actually came out. And the extended edition came out like beginning of December, and then the movie came out like end of December. But
I like this guy's voice.
oh,
He was in that J.J. Abrams. What was that
the
show?
sci-fi show.
Yeah.
Extreme something.
No. It was
Measures,
no. It was like they were traveling and there was clones and all types of weird shit.
I know what you're talking about though. Because
Quantum.
I did watch it.
And it had the guy from the
For
other
a
guy
bit.
from Lost. The guy that worked for them, the guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna find it because it's bothering me. But yeah, he was the perfect guy. Wow, I can't type with my left hand. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, the One Ring. Look at the forehead lines Sean Bean has.
Yeah.
Watch when they show Sean Bean. He's got two of them right there on the sides.
Yeah. I just picture that this is just a Game of Thrones prequel, and that they say like this is just a little bit of Ned Stark that we didn't get to see before. But I do like what because his father is obsessed, and they're kind of like, oh, geez, this guy, right? But but he so believes in his son. Like, he's sitting there, he's like, yeah, he's like, the ring has destroyed lives before. He's like, but you're better than that. He's like, he's like, I couldn't do this. You could do this.
He's really being
And
peer
he's
pressured by his dad,
but
right?
It's also like they made up kind of the backstory because they never really say officially, but he thought of the idea that the reason he treats Faramir so shitty is because his wife died in childbirth with him, and so he blames him for his wife's death, kind of thing. But they don't really get into any of that in real.
Well, you can see that he doesn't like him very much here.
Yeah. Oh, he's just so. And I feel bad. I often mix him up for David Thewlis, who's in like Harry Potter and Island of Dr. Moreau and stuff like that. They don't look alike. It's just they have this kind of
Which guy?
character actor quality. David Thewlis. He's here. I've got to find the name of that TV show first before I go to the next thing. He's in Legends of Tomorrow right now, which is garbage.
You sent the wrong son, bro. He doesn't even want to go, for Christ's sakes. He's like, fuck, man, I gotta go. The old man wants me to go get this fucking ring.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I can't find it.
Well, you can see like how they really love each other, the two brothers here, and their father is clearly a big rifter in between them, right? Trying to...
Well, he's trying to protect his brother, who's constantly... Todd just had a very large jolt because he probably felt something very cold on him. My dog just came up behind him and gave him a little sniffy.
She stuck her nose right in my ass crack.
You know what's hilarious?
Shit. Right
The episode that I just edited, the exact same thing happened. The dog stuck her nose in your ass crack. You need to cover that.
So
ass crack.
I know that's exactly. I'm trying.
you
So
go.
like
It's
the ass crack is the new cleave heave, man.
Is it?
You know. I got my J-Lo's in. I got butt implants, man. I gotta show these fuckers off. Oh, look at this shot. There's a nice shot. Look at
It
that.
is very pretty.
Down there, man. Check it out.
This is David Thewlis.
Oh, this guy. Yes. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
From the
Professor
Giuliani from the Ronaldo. Who
Yeah.
the fuck is Uli? Your friend with a cleft asshole?
Yeah. But yeah, he was Professor Lupin in Harry Potter, which that should be the thing everybody knows.
Yes.
From, whether you like it or not.
Oh no, he doesn't deserve this. That poor Gollum.
I know.
He just caught a big old fish
Yeah,
too.
he's finally so happy.
I know. I don't agree with him thinking that like, oh, you did this to me, you know. But he's kind of warped and messed up, right? So he just needs one little thing to set him back the other way, right?
Oh, for sure. Well, again, he's been on his own forever. So how do you trust? That does seem like an awesome place. Like that seems like a grotto.
Yeah.
It seems like the place where all the
Gollum's grotto.
Fuck.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, we're all dirty and stinky. Let's get in this water and make it brown.
Yeah, people probably reek.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, just imagine, like literally, you don't wipe your ass. You don't do anything. It's just you smell of shit.
Like I'd give it a go. I'd scoot at least.
Well, no, but it wasn't a concept then. There wasn't like.
They must have wiped with something. Everybody would know.
Probably.
Don't you think you would know that disgusting stink that came out of you, maybe you should wipe it away?
No, everybody just, that's what bats were for.
Oh, God.
You know, you'd get in the river.
Maybe you got to go like, you got to be second or third in that tub. Like, God.
Yeah.
Be like
Well, that's why a lot of people didn't bother. They're just like, it'll dry up and crust up on its own.
I'll peel it off like the plastic on a fruit roll-up.
I just picture when, like, only because I have to do this all the time, when Play-Doh dries inside a crevice, and then you just give it a couple
Yep,
bangs,
and it just falls right out in one big
dry heap.
Oh, no, you see, he is trying to fuck him over here, though, right?
Well, no, because he was told he wouldn't hurt.
Forced,
like,
yeah.
It's really, if anybody was getting fucked over, it was Frodo, because they said, we're not going to hurt him if you just go down. Yeah. Why did you do this? That's the guilt face.
Ooh, you're going to feel bad forever, buddy.
Especially because when you see what they do to poor Smeagol, they like kick the shit out of him. It's one of the most violent things that happens in the movie. Like,
jeez.
Like, he really takes
My buddy's not even watching. It's so brutal.
Well, and now you got to think of his character, right? He's in a place where he's trying to do best by his people and stuff, but he's trying to make his father proud in the absence of his dead brother. And all these different things. So he's like,
got a lot going on.
He's like, I have to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
He might not be happy with it, but who's coming back? Again, like just
Those dirty feet, eh? They look like they've been hanging around a volcano.
Yeah. That's just all dry skin.
I know, that's what it looks like. Oh my God. He looks like that guy I saw on the internet cutting off. Did you see that video of this guy with his feet?
With the razor.
Oh
yeah,
my God. What is wrong with that guy's feet?
Hey, just let it go too long.
And he looks like they're calluses.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then it looks like a rotten core, like going way up. And and the dog's eating it? Like, oh God. I knew it too. I was like, oh my God. I was like, the dog. Yeah. And I was like, of course the fucking dog is eating the things he cuts off of himself.
Because that's all your pets want to do is eat you.
At least cats will wait till you're dead.
We'll see.
Lying on the ground forever.
Mine's always rubbing up
I can't stop looking at his feet. They look great.
Yeah. It was right in that scene when he was going like the Smeagol. That was when you were supposed to see the flashback it was actually the beginning of the next movie.
Where
you see him as Smeagol.
Right. I like that scene a lot.
That is brilliant. And that scene's directed by Andy Serkis, but we'll talk about that.
Fucking right it was. And we'll talk about that in a year's time. How about that, bro?
Just, you wait us out, baby. You'll be here. You know you'll be here.
Yeah. You'll be back.
I'm not putting that ring on. Don't you make me put that ring on.
Because would this be the second time now? Or did he throw it on a couple times in the first one?
Because it went on his hand by a mistake in the pub.
Accident.
And then
he put it on, a couple times.
Top, and then he put it on again to get away from.
Look at them bags under his eyes. Holy jeez.
No. Yeah, he put it on that other time to get away from Boromir.
Where's it taking you?
Yeah, it's taking me to Disney World.
Do you think that they did enough in this movie to show Frodo that the ring is really fucking with him?
I think that in some places they kind of beat it over the head.
Yeah.
It was,
I thought maybe there could have been another way of showing it, like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know, like internally, like what is happening to him or something, right? Like,
I feel like they did, but I feel like they were overshadowed by them going, the ring is bothering you.
Right.
Where it's like, maybe they didn't trust, David Wenham didn't want to do this. He was supposed to like lift his, the ring with his sword, but the sword's so heavy and they're real, so he
Yeah.
didn't want to cut him.
Yeah.
So they got a stunt guy to come in and do it just to make sure he didn't, kill the star.
Good call. Good call. Yeah. No, I hear that.
Yeah, that's I can appreciate a little bit of that. I always love looking into eyes of any actor and they're glowing, like just like to the point where they seem like they're digital, but they're not.
That's his O face.
Yeah, he's disgusted with himself because he's always coming
Look
into
at that.
like a blanket that's just his face when he was a child. Like it's just like
It's from the Good Son promotional picture.
something now that was missing there. Now you remember the scene in the well, again, it's from the third movie when it shows him devolved into like from Smeagol the Gollum and stuff like that. They shot a similar thing for him. So that scene.
Oh, for Frodo.
So it's him, and you actually see, and they shot this too. You
Oh.
can find footage where he doesn't have any hair, minus little bits, and it's
Like
all,
where he's gonna go.
Yeah, and it's something. I'll see if I can post it online because it was really cool.
I would like to see that actually.
Yeah, it was. It was something else. What?
Just heard your wife call her horse.
So there he is.
Oh, neat picture.
So yeah, he it was a very cool. Like you can see the
Oh
way
yeah,
he
I didn't go for it though. They didn't show it in the movie.
Well,
so
because
that
they-
was the scene right there where it was supposed to show like the like kind of
It was meant to mirror the scene that you see with Gollum, but because they didn't show the scene with Gollum, showing the scene with Frodo made no
Right.
sense because it was like, what does this even mean? And then there was no place because they showed it in the third movie, the Gollum stuff. There was no natural place to show his de-evolution as it was.
look at that, man.
I
I want to go somewhere. This movie, like
Yeah.
I haven't been anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like this is like he took the most scenic route, like just to be an ad for New Zealand. Come check us out then, all right?
Why the hell not, man?
Oh,
I'd
so-
love to go to New Zealand.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I would have never given New Zealand a second thought if it wasn't for this stuff too, because I know I just want to go there and take the helicopter tours of these places.
Pretty much. Then get the fuck out of town.
And there's some places where like Peter Jackson's just been obsessed.
Is that really
with.
there?
That facade was there. This set is elsewhere, obviously. But then they also do the bigature thing as well. Like when they do like
I
the
love
big battles
that.
thing. So like those things are like
I love a
roughly
good bigature.
like they're anywhere from like 7 to 15 feet
That's
tall.
a fucking real art form, man.
I really like the Bond. See, like the Bond as actors, you can see in it, but then like the Bond as like what these people have been through. Because I think the thing that's always so lost in these movies is how much time has passed.
Yes.
Like they said, like like dozens of years passed between when Gandalf leaves or when like Bilbo leaves the Shire, and then when Gandalf comes back for the like to see that the ring is safe. Like they said, I think it's like 17 years passed or
Right.
something like that. And then but it seemed like it was like an afternoon passed. But it's like, you can't do that. Like I think it's hard to make that time believable.
Yes.
And B, denote that time without actually just going out and saying it's been 17 years since
Like
I've
on the
seen
bottom,
you.
yeah. Well, like that's why I really like these extended ones, because it really seems like a much longer journey. Just even a
Yeah.
couple scenes of them walking makes it seem like, oh man, what a fucking journey.
Well, and that's what I like. There's the scene at the very end of the last movie. I love that entrance, but they
This drop of sweat comes off him.
yeah, but it's just like the big double doors and the weight to them, the clear weight to them when he pushes and stuff like that. But like at the end when you see them travel through the map, that is their journey and stuff like that, and you see how much ground they actually covered, and you're like, holy crap.
They do some serious walking. They got some gams now. They got some calf muscles worked up.
Yeah. This is my biggest problem, and we'll probably talk about it more in the next movie. But because he gets so mad, and he's like, "Why should we go to Gondor's aid when Gondor didn't come to ours?" He didn't ask for Gondor's help.
It's true that.
So maybe fuck off,
Yeah.
because I bet you maybe they would have come.
You never know. It's just an honor to be nominated. Like even if you're not going to go to the party,
Yeah,
still
exactly.
send me the invite.
I feel like the
okay?
prettiest girl at
At
the
least
prom.
humor me.
That wall looks very small.
It
compared
does.
to
I was literally going to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's like you see, and you just see like a dude just walk and like step over it. Like it's just like how they just
Whoop.
forgot that they were shooting.
Woo. They had no time to finish the movie. They were down there like, fuck it.
This door, think about it later on. This door that you see when they break through it with a battering ram, they literally couldn't break through it. They built it so well. The battering ram, a real battering ram, could not open it. They had to weaken the door so the battering ram could open it. And like Peter Jackson said, you can hear it in some of the behind the scenes stuff. He's like, if I have to fortify a castle, I'm going to get the people at Weta to do it. Because Jesus.
I guess so, huh?
Right? But like, I love the detail in this, like the wear and tear on the wall, on the rock. And
it looks like some swords hit there or something, some big...
And
something big hit it.
And people are thinking about, like, it's so, because you could just throw up a bunch of big.
Well, the level of
styrofoam
detail in this
bricks.
movie was disgusting.
Like, I feel like that would be kind of like my place, where it's like, you've got like a month to just work on this thing and just do what you're gonna do, and you're just throwing it up, and you're like, hey, well, you got to imagine that this place has seen like catapults and stuff, so take a big chunk out of this brick, and then like that's like in the first one where they have those two giant statues that are like
got their hand out going
right? Yeah,
don't
thank
go
you for
there,
using
girl.
the words instead of me sticking my hand out that nobody can fucking see. So thank you for describing it like one would do in a podcast. But like you can see when you look up close, you can see where it was carved out of the mountain and where there wasn't mountain anymore, or like the cliffside.
Right.
So then it started being like brick put on, and like you can see that detail of them deciding, okay, we can only go this far, and then we had to make it out of something else.
Right.
And it's just like, it's so
we missed the line that he said, which I think is my favorite line in this movie, when he's like, we will make such a glorious end. Like we're gonna die here.
I would have to
but
make
we're gonna
such an
die
end that if he
so
were to remember
fucking
us.
awesome that like they will remember us.
Yes.
I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
That is that, yeah. Like that's that they may take our lives, but they may never take our freedom kind of thing. It's just so like, those were some of those Crebine from Dudland who were spies.
Here they are.
Yeah.
Here's Merry and Pippin. They
It's a
finally
long
made it
time.
to they're fucking traveling by Treebeard here.
Yeah.
It's
No, but I just mean not seeing them in the movie at
yeah.
all. It's like a good 40 minutes or something like that, right?
Oh, I like these two. These two have the most adventure-y part of the whole thing, right? Like they get to see all types of different angles and different characters and
they're involved in very significant things.
yes.
See, and that's like one of my favorite parts because you can see it in the third part too. I know we're talking a lot about the third part in this one, but the
Well, how can
like,
you not?
I know, but when they all come together again finally, and you can see all the hobbits like jumping up and down on the bed, you can hear them all basically telling their stories at the same time.
Right.
They're like, "Oh my god, we met these giant trees and
These
we're wandering around with
trees
us, and
and
then we did this,
this,
and we
and-
took down Saruman. Can you believe that shit?" Like it's just like, the Entmoot.
I like how they all look different.
Way different.
Yeah,
too.
I think it's really cool. There's one with a big old nose here
I
somewhere.
was just getting to that one.
There he is.
Looks,
Yeah.
He looks like a Muppet.
He looks like that orc dude that came after them.
A
He
little
got
bit,
flattened by the tree.
Oh, now maybe they've become one. Oh, I didn't notice that one tree in the background was also an ant. I didn't see that it had eyes. I just thought it was part of the forest. So many old
I thought
folks.
they got to yak it out first.
They are. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
he said we have to decide.
That's right.
This is, you can keep an eye out, but Elijah Wood's sister and what's his face? Peter Jackson's children are
I think I know
refugees
who
in the
Peter
cave.
Jackson's kids are from
Yeah.
the first one. They
Well, they
were
were in
hella cute looking
They
kids.
were in all of them, but yeah, they keep sticking them in those things. But Elijah Wood's sister was on set that day, so they just threw some garb on her and threw her in the back.
That's
but
what I like.
when
That's
you
what I like
see-
to hear.
But if you're looking for her, she looks exactly like him. So just look for Elijah Wood in the cave, and you'll.
Okay. I'll find him. Her. Oh, yeah. He's got the spray on tan going. Look at him. Oh, no, that's dirt.
You got messy hair. You shouldn't be saying this to him right now. Go brush that hair. Oh, you blew it.
Because I love you is what she meant to say.
I've thrown the L word out too soon before. You just fucked up.
Oh, my
hard.
God. Have I ever as well. Oh,
I
that's
told
what
you
happens.
it was fine.
This is... I still feel embarrassed
I know.
by it. You looked away. It was weird.
I have the upper hand now, but
Big time.
yeah. So just keep an eye. I'm having a hard time. Like I just they all
Oh
look
my
like
God, have
dirty,
I ever
gross
said
women.
it at like the worst times too?
Yeah.
It's because I live in this world.
Yes,
I want to have love that is never ending and stronger than Mithril.
Do you live in the Southern Ontario area and you want to date Todd? You've heard him talk now for a while. Get in touch. Podcast at miscastcommentary.com. And Todd, don't feel bad if you don't get an email from that. We never get an email. So it's fine.
I don't get any anyways. Yeah. I ain't worried about it. Shit.
I don't know which kid. One of these kids is Viggo Mortensen's son as well. The one of the
Is that old guy?
Yeah, it's that old guy.
He's like 800.
It's true. But
oh fuck. Oh yeah, and then you get all the little kids. Like,
I love this. The way
the fucking
too old
gear
people.
doesn't even fit. Did anybody even look at that wound there, Viggo?
Yeah, no, he's super infected.
Fuck.
Oh, you just moved again. Like I thought my dog put her nose in your asshole again.
No, I guess it's got bugs crawling on my skin. There he is. Yeah, we don't see enough Gimli in this one.
Yeah. He's
been delegated to like the goofy sidekick. Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't like how negative he is here.
They're frightened.
Yeah.
So are you little elf.
You're all gonna get fucking killed. I really like this. I remember this in Elvish. Dunkada Monique. I don't know why. I just always think
300. Ooh.
Yeah.
Versus 10,000.
Yeah.
Just like the Spartans.
Yeah.
And one of those dudes was in that movie.
Yes. He was the traitor, and he has nothing to do with this scene. So, had he been, maybe that's why they think that Gondor betrayed them by not coming. He was like, he's like, I know that guy.
See what happens when you don't talk and stuff. Look at him. He's all pissed. You know, I'm with this guy, though. I don't trust fucking white dudes either. Yeah. Like, at all. And this guy's like, I don't trust those white pieces of shit.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Everybody's like, man, we need backup, though. They might be cool now. I don't know, you know? I thought they were pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
I knew we were all a little drunk. They didn't seem like so bad to you. Shut your mouth.
They were a little handsy, but what are you going to do?
Who isn't this day and age?
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Just, I mean, like, you can see how much he's just sinking his teeth into this. But, like, he was also, like, a bit of a... Like, I don't want to say, like, just because it's too cheeky to say, but like, he was a little bit of a prankster on set and stuff like that. But he was,
like, ooh, you're telling stories at a school here.
Yeah, I know. No, but they were telling stories about like how, like, he would want to do like these pranks to Peter Jackson or to somebody. Like when Aragorn does that big entrance, they wanted to have like the other end of the shot was he was sitting on the thing with just a bunch of girls around him, and then they did a They were talking about all the...
Oh, my Lord. Like, yeah there you go, kid.
Yeah. Hey, little guy. You ever chop wood before? Do that to an orc. But yeah, and then they said something about, like, I think you can find this footage, too. It's Viggo Mortensen talking about how many action figures of them there's going to be. When he was talking about the army of thousands, he's like, it's going to be thousands of action figures with your face on them and stuff like that. But then he's like, okay, you got that out of your system. And he's like, how many? Like, he's like going back to, okay, now say the real line kind of thing. And he just kept going. And he's just like, he's like, they're all going to be playing with you. And like doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
they are groaning around, just sway like this hippie party.
I know. As somebody who used to be a golfer, I believe in Ents because I so often hit into the trees. And I know those trees weren't there when I hit the ball. Like...
Oh, no. We're just deciding what we're going to order for takeout later.
Yeah, I know. This is how my wife plays. My wife plays Legend of Zelda exactly like the way they talk. It's just like, it's like you started playing in the morning. It's nighttime now. What have you done? She's like, I found a stick and some eggs and I cooked rice and I cooked a poultry pilaf. Thanks.
Saving the world.
I know, yeah.
One peel off at a time.
Sorry, I feel very single-minded right now. That piece of jewelry is not what you should be wearing amongst all these people.
All that bling, right?
Look at this kid. He looks like
at least tuck it under.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Tuck it under. Look at these people are dirty as fuck. Anybody's gonna steal that thing.
He looks like he could be
toilet paper because nobody wipes their ass apparently in Middle Earth, according to you.
You just dip it in the river, baby.
The kid's got the biggest forehead of anybody.
Well, I was gonna say he looks like Ron Perlman's son. You're gonna grow into.
Looks like a mixture of the lead singer of Slipknot, Corey Taylor, and Ron Perlman.
Okay.
But you have to reverse Ron Perlman's face.
Yes, yeah. He's
Flip
more
it.
bottom of the
Yeah.
fist than top.
Well, this is the worst sword you'll ever have. Here you go, kid.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
what
jeez.
a piece of garbage.
Want me to just stab you right now, kid, and get it over with, or
Yeah,
you want to waste some more of my time?
this is mostly rust. Like, seriously.
We should have had a scene of this guy kicking ass.
Hama is the one too who collected, when they come to Edoras, and he's like, he takes all of their weapons, and then he's like your staff, and he's like, oh, surely you won't take an old man's walking stick type thing. That's Hama in this. So that was like, they actually connected him to one of the actual characters in the movie. So that was kind of good.
What a good idea, too.
about
So you're
that.
not going to take an old man's walking stick.
Yeah, that wasn't
He's
bad.
a fucking wizard.
Yeah, I would have called him out. I'm like, then you stay out here, you fucking wizard. Yeah. You know, like, everybody knows who you are, right?
I've got your trading card.
Yeah, exactly. I was
It
still kind
says
of
right at the top. It doesn't even say your name. It just says wizard.
I was kind of bummed that because like they offered him Dumbledore in Harry Potter as well, and he's like, I can't play another like.
Who did they
iconic,
offer that to?
Ian McKellen.
Oh, no way.
He's like, I can't play another wizard. Like he's like as much he even said too, he regretted not doing it, but he's just like, I can't, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, I can't play these two iconic wizards and confuse the world. Like,
Yeah, what's Gandalf doing here?
who am I? What am I watching?
That was cool of him, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's because he's an old school actor, so
Yeah.
he cares about like the role and what's right for it, and it's not just like have some money and I'm there. Like,
Yeah,
like who
exactly.
cares what it is, right?
Yeah, but you could tell like when he talked about it, you
shit.
could tell he had a moment. This was a great
See,
moment.
this is it. Before our Helm's Deep battle and our our thing. What would it even be called? It's not like LARPing or something. It's kind of like living it though, like
Yeah,
LARP living.
yeah.
You
Well-
live it, bro. This ain't one afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not so much role play to us as it's bringing it to life.
This is then they'll show up.
Yeah. This is Haldir played by Craig Parker.
No, this guy totally looks like an elf.
He has
Look at the
very
fucking bangs on him.
yeah. He has a very like small role, but he's in two big scenes of the
Yep.
first two movies. Because he's the one in the first one who's like the dwarf breathes so loudly I could have shot him in the dark. Nice. I like that they're all like elves, and then he's
Viggo's
just
like,
and
"Hey,
then,
bro, what's up?"
Aragorn's like, "You're in." This was a good.
Good
This
for
good, like
you,
it still
elves.
gives
I
me
know,
goosebumps,
man. This movie kicks fucking ass.
I'm happy that I'm not so jaded or so cynical that I can still be affected by a movie, and not just be affected by a movie, but be affected by a movie I've seen dozens of times. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This guy.
It's like one of the real joys
Yeah.
of life for me.
But like, just like people have worked so hard to create this moment. Like,
Oh
look
my
at
God.
that, right? And just like,
Oh.
but like people planned for years to create this moment and hit that. And now imagine from their side when they see the people go like, oh, and they're like, yes, like that's exactly what I
Must
wanted.
feel good
I
too to
got
know that
them.
people are still into the movie and stuff, right? Even if you didn't do anything else after, or if Peter Jackson made shitty movies, just to know that he did these 3 movies and people
And he
love
did.
it.
Yeah. No, it was.
This is okay, but right before these guys show up,
Yeah.
this is what I thought was going to happen when I went to that white supremacist rally.
Yes.
This is them coming down the
I know.
street.
I'm still anybody who doesn't know, I'm actually working right now on
That
a
sounded really
semi-animated
bad.
version of that. Yes,
That sounded I was on the other side.
Todd was going to the good side.
It's not.
Yeah, he was waiting for the white supremacists to show up
Yeah.
to this protest
But
thing.
but right when I see the first flint of their torches,
Yeah.
I shit myself.
Yeah.
Get it over with. I don't want to be in mid axe swing and be like, oh God, I just shit myself. Then I get killed because I take my mind off the battle. Mm-hmm. And maybe then they'll be like, this guy stinks to fuck. Even one of these stinky bastards
Yeah.
is like, this guy fucking reeks.
Right now it's raining at the very least, so probably nothing stinks that bad.
Yeah, these guys' breath probably does. Jesus.
I
Bring it
love that guy.
on.
So they said during, because like a lot of these guys are like Maori kind of like New Zealanders and stuff like that. So like the guys in the Orokai outfits and stuff like that. So they said between takes and stuff, they were all doing like the haka and stuff like that. You know that?
Oh, like what the
tribal
Usos do
kinda-
when they come down.
Yeah.
I think the Usos do that.
Yeah, and it's like super.
Or they did before they turned bad.
Yeah, there you go.
They don't care about their heritage now.
But yeah, and it's like they did this gigantic thing, and like they were doing it, and it was pumping them up plus keeping them warm because it was cold and wet, right? And then it was like kind of like creating a little bit of a thing between the two sides because they were like taunting them and going like, come on.
Oh, so it was like a real thing,
yeah,
right?
so it
Oh,
was
that's
like
cool, right?
kinda
I like
amp each
that.
other up. I love this line. Should I describe it to you, or do you want me to get a box? And then this laugh. He laughed like my grandfather did there. That was so good. But but like, how do you not get amped up during like these kind of scenes, right? Like if you're sitting there, even though the shot's not on you and they're doing this, you're sitting up there just looking over, and you're probably like sitting in a chair, just like, oh god.
See, is there another battle scene that's as good as this on a sheer scale?
No, I don't think anything comes
not
close.
to mention just that's Peter Jackson's kid
Yes,
right there.
and that's the other one. But the that one old man who's got the missing eye there, that's a legitimate missing. That not him, but there's another guy you'll see in a minute. It's a legitimate missing eye. Guy came with an eye patch, and Peter Jackson just kind of like very like as nice as you can. He's like, "Can I see what's under there?" And he showed him, and it was just a big gaping hole. And he's like, "How would you feel about not having your eye patch on for this scene?" Because like when they go here, when they go fire, you'll see the guy, and this is not a CG'd out eye or something like that. This is exactly what his face looks like. So I love
Now
that.
you
too.
breach that subject, eh? You know, like you go over. No, you go over.
Well, when you're Peter Jackson and you're watching like 40 hours of dailies in a day somehow,
Yeah.
and you're directing a movie for 16 hours in a day, then you have no choice but to be really blunt about things.
Yeah, I guess
You're
so,
like,
right?
You not good. You do better. You let me
Lose
see
the eye
your let me
patch.
see your gross eye.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, because not only is the scene like monster battle, but
So
it's
here it
just
comes.
all
There
the,
he is.
there he is.
So that's
It's
a legit hole in his face.
You know, it's like the build up to the whole thing too, and the weight behind it. You know,
They
like
did,
this
'cause-
is like monster.
Because they took like a solid, like almost 10 minutes of just sitting there staring at each other in a movie.
Oh
that-
my god.
My wife just took us off the air.
Oh my lord.
So,
Arrows
I'm
are
gonna
full-
fix it. Oh,
it's
we're back on.
We're back.
Okay.
We're back on.
All right.
A little technical difficulty there.
So now I don't feel so bad for all that behind the back talk. Don't touch it again, please. I will fix the rest of it later. All right.
You had your fix, girl.
I like these. I like the idea of the siege and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah,
right?
here comes their music.
But like this
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Like I used to play a lot of these like video games where like you had to like, break into the castle and this kind of stuff. And I love these kind of like ideas. And the third one goes even bigger with those giant siege towers that the trolls are pushing. And like, see, I love the Gondor battle scene, but this one there's I don't know, there's a tone to this one.
Exactly.
Oh, there was your Wilhelm scream.
There
for
it
anybody who's
is.
looking for it.
God, I love that screen.
But yeah, this one just had this kind of like,
Ooh.
there was a hopelessness because they were so outnumbered, as well as
I was worried that some of our main characters were going to die. And I still actually think that some of them should have.
yeah.
Just to add more weight to the movie, right? You know,
Well,
it
again, it
sucks
was-
if they would have died, and it's nice that
Yeah.
they don't. But
Well, it was one of those things where you had to, like, they wanted, there's certain things they want to keep loyal to the book, and keeping your main characters alive
yeah,
is probably one of those.
yeah, I hear ya. But I honestly thought when I was watching this movie, I thought that either Marianne or Pippin was gonna die, one of them, and I thought that Gimli was gonna die.
Yeah. It would have been interesting to have seen Gimli die just for the sake of,
Like saving the elf.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
elf who's always so smooth and everything does one little mistake.
Yeah.
So out of character for an elf. But he's turning kind of human, right? So he makes a little mistake, and then Gimli saves him.
That'd be
And then he's
interesting.
guilty. He feels guilty about it.
And then gets over it fast. Because, like,
He remembers he
well,
hates
because
dwarves.
he knows he's going to live forever, so why
Yeah.
regret,
I mean, at least a couple hundred years of regret. I mean, Jesus.
There's a thing that's really missing from the movie, that's in the books too, is Merry is actually like a pretty well-to-do hobbit. Like he's
What do you
actually
mean, like, well off?
like he's
pretty wealthy.
Yeah, he's a pretty wealthy hobbit. Like and that's kind of how like him and Frodo also very wealthy. Like that's something that kind of you don't really get out of that, because Bilbo is crazy rich from The Hobbit. Because he got all that gold. He got his share of the gold and stuff like that from the Hobbit, right? So he is
from
worth,
his uncle.
He's worth more than the whole Shire, and then he leaves everything to Frodo. And so now he's got all this money, and then he's kind of the same. He's kind of like for lack of a better term, kind of aristocratic compared to other classes of
a silver spoon in his mouth. Maybe that's why other people hate his guts.
Yeah.
Like that guy's always giving him the evil eye next door, eh?
And he's a lot smarter in the books too. Like he's the one who solves the Moria puzzle.
Frodo.
No, Pippin.
Oh, Pippin.
No, Merry. Sorry.
One of them.
No, it was Merry for sure.
Okay.
But he's the one who solved. Like he does a lot of the thinking, in the thing. Like not exclusively, but he
like, solves some things.
Yeah,
he's thinking.
Not, like in this one, he's just one of the dumb troublemaking friends.
I love their scene later too when they show up with Lady and I'm like, oh man.
Everybody, this movie does not fail to give anybody their shot.
That's what's cool too.
Like that's one of those things. Like you could say, you can say a lot of like things like, you know, so like in a lot of movies where they're like, oh, you know what, I didn't really get a chance to do anything. Like the way Jeremy Renner complained about the first Avengers movie. He's like, I was a slave in it. Like he's like, I was barely in it.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I didn't get to be the character they paid me to be. And they
holy fuck, there's their new
but like this
their
one,
new technology.
Yeah, but this one everybody got
that looks
shot.
like some old floating Nazi underwater submarine bomb.
Yeah, for sure. And this is
this guy
good. And people brought up, because now this is after 9/11 when this goes down, and they're talking about the idea of a suicide bomber and like all these things like that are very kind of relevant. I love the idea of like he sees what's going on and they're like, you have to take him out now. And then you watch this when they take the music out. The only sound is him, the jump, and the explosion. All music cuts
look at
out.
the people flying.
So good.
Oh, shit. There goes the wall, man.
That was so well done. And imagine... Yeah, I am too. Let's touch our goosebumps together.
Oh, you should see the static sextricity that just happened right there.
But the idea too, like, and I think, and look at it's killing tons of them too, like giant.
Oh yeah,
chunks
there's a lot of collateral damage when something like that.
Yeah, nobody really knew what it was gonna what it was gonna do. But the like,
they're
I like that.
What the fuck just happened?
And I like that genuine horror. Nobody know. Like they're like, what is that?
Like what just happened?
Like they're not like, ooh, they penetrated our defenses. They're like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't know what. I can't even fathom what just happened.
So this is a very this is a very heavy battering ram.
There's that door.
And there's this door. So they were expecting that this thing would actually quite easily be able to knock this door down, and they couldn't do it.
That's wicked. Wouldn't you feel so good if you built that door?
Yeah. There's probably a little rivalry between them and whoever built the battering ram.
Yeah.
That was probably going on. Like, they knew the door was supposed to fall, but they're like, I'm not going to let this happen. Like, we could take a couple parts off later so they could get what the shot they want.
You know, they're like, boom, they try the battering ram and it won't. And then somebody yells at the door won't break. And your buddy's like picking his teeth in the back with a toothpick. Like, yeah, you goddamn right, it didn't.
For what it's worth, Gimli should have died there because he literally just jumped into a bunch of upward spears. He should have been like skewered.
He's a dwarf.
I know.
His skin's thick as fuck.
I love whenever the elves do, because the elves do everything with such precision. So everybody just shot their arrows, and like when they're blowing past people's ears, and you see like their hair move with it and stuff like that. I'm like, that is so amazing, because I picture them doing that, and they get away with that in other war movies like Braveheart and stuff like that. But the reality is that like most people would be shot in the back of the head by people who aren't very good with arrows.
Yeah,
like
for
it's
real.
just like their.
I always think about that in
like
movies
that,
and
right?
stuff too, and like everybody's shooting like 50 guys. I'm like, man, you're gonna shoot one of your own dudes.
Yeah, it's gotta happen all the time.
See, the main problem in our Lord of the Rings outdoor adventure is the violence.
Yeah.
See, now would you have to just be kind of like a spectator stuck in the middle of the battle, or
I don't want to be,
because if you fight, like, you could potentially get hurt or hurt someone.
Yeah.
You'd have to sign a waiver.
Yeah. I don't know.
You'd have to sign a waiver.
Yeah, of course.
The weapons would be foam, like hard foam.
You've got to sign a waiver if you go up an escalator that's more than 3 stories. So yeah, I would like to think you'd have to.
Well, our escalator's 1.5.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Nope. Hey, I had a great idea.
Dong. Fight.
I like these two. Look at these tough mothers.
Well, and I like that too, is because they're feeling kind of off. They're like, we should be like, as far as he's concerned, everybody else is still together.
Right.
Which is why I'm actually kind of surprised they don't say anything at the beginning of
3.
the next, in the beginning of 3, when they're talking to everybody else. Like one of the first questions should be, "Where's Frodo and Sam?"
Yeah.
Because they
Where's
don't
our
know.
team?
Like they did tell them to go because he said they had meant to go. Like, because they were there when he's like, he's not coming, like, Frodo's not coming with us.
Right.
And they help him get away. But at the same time, they were still all together when they left. And you would think with the people disappearing and they know Boromir got killed, I was like, maybe they're all sticking together. I was like, I think the plans would change once a lot of things like this went wrong. Right?
Oh, those are the things that, you just got to ask one question or say one thing and the whole thing would change, right? But they never do, like in a fucking soap opera.
Yeah. But at the same time, it would have been explained to exactly where it was. So I guess
I'm going to wait until next year to bring up my next point.
Okay. You're not going to remember.
Nope. No, I'm not. Yeah, I know. You know what? I probably will.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of those major things,
You'll be reminded when it comes.
Exactly, exactly, yeah.
All right. Keep it on file then.
Oh, here we go. I'll put it in the old spank bank. That's the only place that'll actually stay. Those are the only files that seem to be ironclad.
Yeah, all my passwords I keep in my spank bank just in case.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of moments lost.
I've only had to remove like 4 centerfolds from my brain.
They were outdated anyways.
I watched way off topic, but I was just thinking again about John Noble being in Legends of Tomorrow or whatever it was, Legends of Tomorrow or whatever it's called, the DC TV show there.
Right.
And I saw like the beginning of the latest episode, and they're like, we have to get to like Chicago right now, and they go there, and then some like monster shows up. It's like a big gorilla whose mouth is moving but it doesn't sync up to what he's saying, and he's like, "It's nice to meet you, Barack Obama," and it's like a teenager who's like, "Oh no, I'm Barack Obama." Like, it's just like, what a like, it was just further proof that everything DC is garbage. Like, I know people like Arrow and Flash.
No, their animated movies are really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, but it's just like, it was just one of those things. I was like, I'm watching this and I'm like, where are you going with this? Well, it was like, what's it called? What was, like Powerless was also like based on DC stuff. And that was that sitcom that was canceled after 2 episodes.
After half an episode. Oh, buddy got pulled right in.
Pew, 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 pew. That's what my son would be doing right now. He sees all these things because he doesn't care what's shooting.
I was just gonna say, like, it's arrows don't make that noise. Come on, man, it's got to be a blaster.
He said just the other day he was talking about seeing a monster, and I'm like, monsters aren't real. And he's like, I saw it. It was scary. I'm like, well, if you think you see a monster and you get scared, you should growl at them, go roar, and they'll run away. And then he's like, no, I pee on them. I'm like, you what? He's like, I pee on them. And then I'm like, what? And he goes, pew pew. So that's what he was doing. He's like, I pew pew them. Really a little schmoo. I love that boy.
Boo boo boo.
I made him so like, he just sits there. He was like talking on his shoe like a phone, like Get Smart style. I'm like, who are you talking to? And he goes, Star Wars. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he literally turns his back to me, like, kind of like, yeah, I'll be right in 1 minute. And he's like, oh, hi, Star Wars. And then he just starts talking. And I'm like, oh,
Star
my God.
Wars.
Just as a
the
concept.
The whole thing?
Yep. Yep. The whole thing.
Oh, you got to have a secret back door.
Yeah.
Mine's not out when the wife's in bed.
Mine's not so secret. It's well spoken of. It's not even that secret a door. It was a wooden door.
It's pretty cut right in. Like, these guys didn't even find that one.
Yeah. You just snorted. You just snorted at the dwarf. So I love this. Just a little callback to the last one.
Toss me.
And I like because he's even got a playful look at it through all this. He's like, I get to throw you.
Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Don't tell the elf.
Don't tell the elf.
Love it. And he gives him a great, but like really, how like ballsy is that? He just threw him into like
And
40
how
guys.
strong is he to one arm a dwarf?
Yeah, because you would think
Like, holy fuck.
like looking at like the proportions of him, he arguably weighs more than.
Oh, absolutely, he does.
Like-
Oh,
like he probably weighs, like-
dwarves are super short, but they're like 350. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're big.
Yeah,
they're
I would-
thick as fuck, right?
Like,
They're
yeah,
like,
I would have said if
300.
if Aragorn was 180, that he'd be like 275.
Oh hell
yeah.
yes. Oh, he weighs way more than Aragorn does.
And they're hardy like that.
They probably make good soup.
Ugh.
Good dwarf soup.
Dwarf soup,
Hearty
yes.
soup.
I only eat mock dwarf soup.
It's got fake dwarf meat in it.
I like this scene too now when everybody's. I don't
What
really
a good
understand.
idea with the hooks on it, though, eh?
Yeah. Oh, they design these really well, and the things that dig into the ground. so they
Yeah,
can push
right
them
there, and it flips. The thing flips around and hooks it on.
up. To me, it's still a little
Boom.
bananas because they do have a giant hole in the wall. Everybody can go through that.
Well, come on, you're trying to overwhelm them. There's way too many.
Yeah.
There's a way too big of a lineup.
That's fair. Yeah.
Fuck that, man. I want in on the action.
Yeah, they're sitting there like it's like the first week of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Like,
Yes,
Jesus.
it's probably the same as right now.
They
Oh,
go.
I like
that would
that.
have been a good spoof thing. They're all sitting waiting to get in, and then it says, "From here, your wait is 1 hour 30 minutes."
Oh god.
And it's like, well, it did take us a month to walk here, so
And it-
what's
and it-
another?
and
What's
it-
a little longer?
It should have the you need to be this tall, and you can see a couple of them like line themselves up, and the other goes like thumbs up.
It's awesome. They wanted all of the Uruk-hai to be over 6 feet tall, but some of them weren't. Like they just couldn't get enough people, so they got some who were like in the mid 5 foot kind of range, like around my height, and they called them very meanly the Uruk-lo.
Uruk-lo.
And I'm like, oh fuck you guys, we can't. Like I didn't choose this.
And you don't, you saw these guys like, putting helmets and swords in kids' hands. You know that the guys are probably okay. Go get the defunct class.
Yeah,
or
no
send
doubt.
them in.
No doubt.
We'll take everybody we can get in this war.
I really like the designs of these places too. Like Minas Tirith especially when you see it, because it's 7 tiers. Like, so like once they break the one, they all retreat to the next one. And I was like, that is a brilliant like design for defense,
They should have thrown a couple of the bugs from Starship Troopers coming over the wall.
Yeah, they may have. You never know if you look close enough. This is also because this is one of the first movies that used the massive technology, right?
What is that?
Well, most of the orcs and the humans are CG because obviously they didn't have 100,000 people that were fighting and stuff like that. So what happens though is they gave them all. They all have AI, and each person has been given. So like they get their skin, and then they're given like certain attributes and like it's so like a video game, like strength and speed and all these different things, but they also have the ability to hear. So if one is walking, it actually like it's a sound wave. Like if you look at the base program,
Right.
and it's a sound wave, and if the other guy is within that sound wave, that means he can hear it. So then you see him walking, and then he
Okay.
turns. So it's one. So
he
it's
heard it.
so it's a battle that is 100% AI, none of it directed. And he's like, and you would see sometimes that he's like, it'd be really funny to watch, like when you're seeing chunks of this, because you can zoom in on.
They
chunks
did that
of
with
it and
this?
stuff. Yeah, it's this one and the third one they did, but this is where it really
Is
started.
it just for major overview shots of like
Yes.
rumbling?
Yes.
Okay.
So like if you see like usually it's in the big high far shots, like it wouldn't be in the background of a close up of like Aragorn fighting somebody or something like that. But they would show like they were showing some of the passes that they did, and they so like with all the stats and all that set, you saw a bunch of like orcs who were like in the back just turn around and run away, and they just sprinted, and like the people are all there laughing because it's like again they
It's
have
like
no
a fake
control.
program, yeah.
They have no
Well, it's not a
control.
fake program,
No.
but yeah.
But it's based on the information it's been given.
And some of them would probably fuck off.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I just thought it was absolutely brilliant, and it's so cool, but it was so neat because it was built in such a way that if you're in a big pile, nobody's just going to be standing there. It's like, oh, I'm done fighting this guy. Oh, I hear somebody over there. I'm going to go over there, and it does it all by itself. And then you get people like double teaming.
That's pretty
doing all
neat.
this stuff, and it was just like bananas. They've got. I'm pretty sure they've actually incorporated it into some like video games, but
I think they do.
but it's really cool. Like go watch the featurettes. You can find them on YouTube, or you can find them wherever. It's on the appendices of the Bluray
I
on
must
here.
have seen it. I watched
and,
all the
and all that stuff. But yeah, it's really, really interesting to watch it really
Oh.
develop.
fuck.
Yeah, many of these trees were my friends. You should get I delivered that really
That
well.
was pretty good, actually.
Give it up for me.
Damn.
Oh,
Oh, this is it. You should have been here before you yacked for 5 fucking days.
I know hundreds of millions of people I know from Nut, but they didn't get to grow up. They
Right.
didn't be chopped down.
Oh,
They just
yeah.
They just all landed in a sock and got laundered. But I love that roar. But to me,
He's like, boys, he's like, come back, boys.
See-
He's like, no.
well, and that makes me wonder, like, how did they all get there so fast? Like, it took them so long to get there and then talk and stuff in the
They're
first place.
reserving their strength for
Yeah.
something like that.
You see, like, they're all sprinting.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like,
They're sitting there for eons, just, like a sloth. Like, if they got it, they can move a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm. I love these lines, too, that are coming up, too. They have business with the orcs. Yeah. So good.
Damn. I should know this movie, all the lines this well.
Yeah.
I'm too busy jacking off the whole
I
time
know.
to...
Rock and
We have a
stone.
date at Isengard.
I wish, like, people who listen to the show enough know my voice goes constantly. I don't keep my throat lubricated enough or whatever. But, like, I feel like some of these voices I can do.
Something exploded in me. When you said
Oh, no.
that.
We're all dying. No, but that's the correct term. I don't know why you're upset. But the
Yeah, I'm fucking pissed.
yeah, I know. I'm offended. But I like doing him. Tree Barham. My business is with the orcs tonight.
It's not
See,
bad.
I'm all right.
You
I'm
could have been a tree dude.
So yeah, I could have been like one of the background ones. What the fuck up?
Last March of the Ents.
Yeah, they do that thing. They did it in the first movie as well. They try to sneak in as many of the chapter titles as you can, and that's the
Is that
and
one
that's
of them?
the chapter
Right.
title for
Just
their
to be
battle.
just to be cheeky, huh?
Yeah, well, it's nice for the for the fans of the book especially too, right? Just hey, here's a little something for
And
you.
in the theater, the two people look at each other. That's one of that's one of the chapters.
Mega nerds high fiving
Yeah.
and missing. You know how it goes.
Man, there's rumbling going on all over the place.
Yeah. This is kind
This
of
is Gondor, right?
This is Osgiliath, which it's part of the realm of Gondor,
Realm
but
of
it's
Gondor,
not
right.
It's
It's
not.
Gondorian owned and
Yes.
operated.
Well, it was. They've lost it, and now they're trying to get it back. But I love these. That guy who was in the background looked really familiar, but I can't. So he got blocked right away, so I didn't get to give him a good look.
Uh-oh.
So again, only in this movie can you ignore these guys hadn't been on screen for about a half hour. Totally fine, just no problem. Your
Yep.
main character and
Yep.
and like the next guy, and just take a
I
break.
think Viggo is more the main character. Like the story centers around those two,
The
but the
story-
main character I think is
The story, Frodo is the goal
yes.
in the story, but Aragorn, because the whole idea is that men are the future, so that's got to be. So he's central in that aspect for sure.
Oh, here it is right here.
Yeah. That is not the news you want to hear. I feel like you go into a little bit of denial.
Yep.
You got to believe. And that's one of the things they changed from the books that nobody seems to mind. He never wanted the ring.
Who?
Faramir in he never wanted anything to do with the ring. In the
Well, it
book.
just showed right there before
Yeah.
he left. His dad was like,
Yeah.
he's like, no, my spot is here with the people.
Oh, yeah,
and his
yeah.
dad's like, no, you go. I only trust you. Like really laying it on
Yeah.
thick, right?
Yeah, no, but but even with all that in play in the other one, he sees Frodo, he knows he has the ring, and he's like, "I'll get you to where you gotta go." And that's,
Right.
like, the
So
end.
in the book, does he
Yeah.
just die fighting them, or?
He doesn't die.
Oh, he doesn't die in the books.
No,
Oh.
he doesn't die in this either.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking
Oh,
Sean
Boromir.
Bean.
Boromir dies.
Right.
He died. His story's the same. It's Faramir, because now Faramir has the ring and is bringing it to his dad. In the books, that doesn't happen.
Right.
It just doesn't. That's it's one of those things I know that again, not from having read the books, but from just hearing people tell. It's like, that's not how that goes in the book. But it's just funny the things they complain about and the things that they don't.
Right.
Right? Like it's
Yeah, it is weird.
but
It's like, come on.
but it's a necessary tension, really. Like, it's like, if he's just like, I'm on your side, we're going to totally get through this. I was like, well, that's great.
Yeah.
Your story now sucks
Yeah.
until you've parted ways.
Exactly, and
problems.
there's no tension.
And I know it's hard with a movie like this where literally you're just constantly going from one thing to the next. Like Frodo dies 4 times in the first movie. Like,
Yeah.
But it is what it like. It's
Mithril.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, they're coming in.
No,
oh, wait a minute. There is. Well, jeez, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
There's a whole back door thing we got
exactly.
here. I designed this place. How could I forget it?
There's a glory hole the size of a small man. It must be great. That was one of those guys who only got his lines because that guy was supposed to have no lines in this thing. He was just supposed to be around. But then Bernard Hilder, he said he was like he needs the king doesn't give orders. He tells one person what he wants done, and that person goes and gives orders. He's like, I need somebody to be my guy, and they chose him to be that guy. So then all of a sudden he got a role out of it.
Cool.
It's interesting. That's the good version of that. The Island of Dr. Moreau is the opposite, where Marlon Brando sees the world's smallest man playing a teeny tiny piano on top of a regular sized piano, going, this guy needs to be in the movie more. Cut everybody else out. There was a guy who got hired he was supposed to be the 4th lead in the movie, and he was relegated to essentially an extra. I've said the word relegated a lot over these 2 episodes.
It's a good word, buddy.
I love it. But it's
relegation.
But it was just one of those things where literally he was he had so many lines and they're take everything away from him, and now it's just me and little mini me here are going to play piano together and just
for 2.5 hours.
And I'm gonna poke at you and just be a weirdo. You gotta watch that.
The thing about the making of it,
the
right?
making of it. It's
I should.
I can't remember the name of it now. I wanted to say Heart of Darkness, but that's the Apocalypse Now one.
Yeah.
But I like the graininess in this too. That's, I think, again, that's something that's missing. I love that horn, but that's something that's missing, and I think that really takes away in The Hobbit is everything's so digital and so clean,
right?
The grit.
Let's get a little grit right here, eh?
Yeah, and the grit is important. It's this is not a clean, happy place, nor is it anywhere in The Hobbit. So why should everything be so shiny? Ugh.
Now, one of these works is going to hit the horse.
Why? I was just thinking that same thing.
Just
I
take the damn horse's legs right out.
Well, realistically, if they took out one of the first
they do
few,
seem to be whacking.
I do like
pretty
this
good.
scene.
I know, it's pretty sweet.
It's
eh?
a weird version of Polo. I because what's the end game from here? I know that Aragorn knows
just
what's
to
going
die,
on.
just to fight and die.
I know,
Man. That's it.
but
The
it's
king thinks they're just going out for one last fucking kick at the can here.
This is another
Yeah.
goosebumps. Look at it again. Goosebumps again.
Yep, me too.
It's so good. But again, I didn't see this
Yeah,
coming.
I'm showing up, motherfucker. I know because he said it too, right?
Simply,
Yeah.
well, no, but I
What does
I
he
knew
say?
you'd
First
see it.
light
He's
or something?
First light, look to the east and all that. This is the king stands alone, not alone. Oh, I just double goosebumps, and I'm just but literally, you see these guys and they disappear, and the film buff in me knows these guys are coming back, but then until the moment actually happens, you're oh shit, yeah.
That's not the east. You should have looked at him. That's not the east. That's the west.
Yeah, I know.
They're all looking to the east. Nobody, they don't even see him coming.
Yeah. Well, no, clearly is that they actually got the lighting right for that too, because the sun rises behind them, because it's rising in the east, and then it's shining on the wall behind, on the mountain wall behind.
Holy fuck!
That's so crazy. I didn't even think that there were so many Rohirrim, right? You would think there'd be a couple, maybe.
They went back and
so.
got the rest of them.
Yeah, it's every person who has a horse.
Everybody who filled an application is in.
I love this. See, if I was blinded by light, I would just at least stick my spear out and just be just turn my head, hope for the best. But I love this. They just tear into them. And this is, I think, where the battle from the next one suffers. As good as it is again. But, it's a lot of the same stuff. It's it looks like everything is lost. Oh, no, the next group's coming. Oh, but now we're going to double whammy you, because now everything's lost for the bad guys. Nope, now their next group's coming. Oh, now everything's lost on them. Nope, next group's coming. And it just kept going. You're okay, who's
It's in one of those movies where it's
I love
no. You put your gun down.
Yeah.
And then it's no, you put your gun. And 5 people later, there's a lineup down the hallway of people with guns to the back of each other's heads.
For sure.
Fucking right, man.
I think this is where
with a tree, man.
This is where we see one of them gets lit on fire.
Yeah,
I think.
I love
if
it.
hasn't happened already.
No, it's coming.
I like that they improvised that little rock throw just to like have a little something going on. But I like that because he had this. Tolkien had this real.
This guy, but then he gets put out, right, which is nice.
We'll see. But yeah,
I couldn't handle one of these guys dying.
I know, right? Well, but some of them had to have, right? But like, look at how many there are now. There only seemed to be like maybe a dozen of them before. Now there's like
a whole shit
100
ton
or
of
so.
them in there.
But this thing too with the one that's on fire, dipping his head in the water. Apparently that was hidden from Peter Jackson. They didn't tell him about it, and it was just something that was there. And he's like, "Oh, hey,"
and he liked it.
Yeah. Well, it's very much the same way as I don't know if it was you talking about it before or somebody, but in Ready Player One, a lot of the stuff was hidden from Spielberg.
It was me, yeah. So when he watched the movie back, he'd be like, "Oh, there's one of my characters, and there's one of my characters," and
that's so cool. That's a beautiful
waterfall. Every single person is running away except for the dude on fire who is running towards. Watch. Yeah, look at this guy's like, "Oh fuck! Oh no, they're putting roots in, right?" Yeah.
I think the one roots that were missing.
Here, look. Yeah. See, he's coming to read. He's like, whoa, fuck yeah. He's like, right.
If you look close, everyone's putting down their roots. And there's the roots of Philadelphia. You see just Questlove drumming.
Yeah, he goes flying by.
I feel like all this water would just power their machines even more. The mills would be spinning faster.
Yeah, that's what they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't get it. We just made it worse.
How'd they even find any more orcs for the next one? Like, geez, the orc factory just got shut down hard.
Well, I mean, what's it called? The bad place there is very densely populated, right?
There's a lot of baddies. Look at he's about to do something real bad.
Oh, man.
Nazgul.
The Nazgul.
Oh, these guys are hiding behind their
shields.
Those
are good shields, too.
I keep mixing this up, too. I keep thinking I'm going to see a dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I keep thinking, like...
And good on them to not just give up and go, yeah, dragon. But it's like these things. But you see what I mean with its face looking like a Goomba from Mario Brothers? Like, look at it. Get a good look at it next time it comes
up. From the movie Mario Brothers. I didn't get to see Elijah Wood's sister or whatever. They had them dirty fingernails, man. Look at the fucker.
Take our word. You can Google it and find it.
Look at it. I'd fucking sucker punch this thing right. Well, it wouldn't be a sucker punch as he's looking right at me.
Its face is made of teeth, though. You gotta be careful.
Fuck him.
Uppercut.
Look at this, Sam. You beautiful bastard. Like, how many times did you fucking save this guy?
Yeah, I know.
Huh. It's not his fault. He's all fucked up. The ring's got him all fucked.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And like my problem too, because they taught like Elijah Wood or Frodo is not at all a hero in these movies.
No.
He is a victim. Like, because that's the thing. Because people are like, oh, he just keeps succumbing to the ring and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but he's not being weak. It's not like whatever. He's just a victim of the ring.
Yes. Well, he's being pretty strong too, right? He's not letting it take him over completely or anything. He's really fighting it.
Like, he's a hero, but not the hero.
That's right. Sam's the fucking hero.
It's the people around him who make it happen. Well, but even beyond him, like Gandalf's still doing his thing, and then the third one, obviously, Aragorn makes it possible for him to get to Mount Doom. And even like as they say, Gollum has a part to play.
Yep.
Still. For good or ill.
Oh, I love you, Sean Astin.
So it's like the circumstances are the hero, and then everybody, stepping up.
Rises to the challenge.
Yeah. They gave him, we were talking about everybody who got their big gifts and stuff like that. His gift, he threw that backpack away on his, it was like one of those last shots, like when they were in by Mount Doom, and he throws away the big backpack because he's had it on him since the beginning of the movie.
Right, he's wearing a backpack.
And he's just
God, the backpack strap under the armpits must have been awful.
And so he was so happy to be rid of it, and then his wrap gift was that backpack.
Oh my God, everybody got a sword, a horse. Like, this guy gets a backpack. That he doesn't want.
What would you want? Like you can pick any character you want, and you are that character. What gift would you want from what they have?
Staff is pretty badass.
Staff's pretty badass. I'm kind of like, I think the armor.
That is probably what I'd go through too. I'd probably take some of that Uruk-hai armor, man. Yeah.
Well, depending on the guy, like if I was Boromir, that Gondorian armor, like the steel armor with the tree on it and stuff like that, it's just so good. It's like poor Gollum has nothing. He's like, I'll take my stinky.
Take your
my
ball
stinky
suit
white
and get
suit.
the fuck out of here.
There wasn't even a ball suit because like they just.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have any balls back then.
Well, he didn't do any actual motion capture art at the beginning. Like it was just he was just acting on screen. It was more motion capture later on, but yeah, he had nothing to go from. I think they ended up giving him some of the maps.
That's cool.
They gave away a lot of. I know Elijah Wood said he got one of the maps as well, and I was like,
I'd also like to have some of the drawings that Buddy did. You know the guy I'm talking. There was two of them.
Yeah,
either one of them.
How and Lee both were just brilliant.
Oh man, some of their
John
sketches
Lee,
would have been so fucking badass.
Oh. Well, and you see those in the like again, anybody who has not watched all of the appendices bits on the extended Blu-ray or the DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. I know it's hours and hours of stuff. Watch it. It's so good. Like you see every detail coming to life, and you see it come from the most simple concept. I always skip the from book to screen thing because it's just about how they what's it called, how they adapted the book.
Right.
I'm like, I just want to see them making the movie. I get they've adapted the book,
right?
It's fine.
Well, the adapting of the book was like a whole like they're still making the movie and they're like adapting the book.
Yeah. We never really got any answer from that too. They said, if you let these guys go, your life is forfeit. And he's like, then so be it. He doesn't get killed.
Well, he just means in service to them.
I know, but but like he like literally, he's like, you know the laws of our land. If you let him go, your life is forfeit. That means if you let him go, you have to die. And he's like, so be it. And then that never happens.
Oh, shit, guys.
That's where...
Ain't nowhere to run.
It would have been funny just to have a scene. Like, you don't use it in the movie, but just shoot the scene. But one of the orcs goes, quick, run into that vague forest that wasn't there before. I love this. Such a simple scene. It's just like... I don't... and you don't...
Yeah.
You don't need to see what's happening in there. It's kind of like
you know
hey.
They're mulching him up.
Sorry, I was just saying hi to my kitty who's up near my penis right now. There you go. Yeah, she doesn't even really want to touch him. She's kind of like, ugh.
Okay, good. A hug. That's all right.
Yeah.
A good friendly hug.
Pile of bodies. This is the worst part. I always think about like wars and stuff like that, and it's like somebody's got to clean that stuff up. I think about that like watching Saving Private Ryan. You see buildings all blown. I'm like, where do you even start?
Ugh. Yeah, of course, right? Yeah.
I never understand the idea that like each person, they were so outnumbered that they all like killed like between 40 and 50 people. I was like, that's kind of insane, right? I love that. That's a nice funny little line.
Oh, these guys get the splendor too. They find some fucking weed in the back.
I love this idea too. How gross! Like that.
I know
water
must be
gross
so nasty.
I would, even though it's like a studio water or something like that. I know. I picture that it's just like I pictured like having a condom on just so nothing crawled in my pee hole. Like I'm just so grossed out by that water. I don't trust it.
No.
I don't even like going in lake water.
It probably has those like parasites that crawl in your pee pee.
Yeah.
Like from Africa. That's why they tie their foreskins up. They hook it up to their belt so their penis goes upwards. So like, I don't know how that helps if you're submerged in water, but I think it does actually somehow.
Can't hurt. Well, it probably hurts.
Oh my God, there's a full cooked turkey in the blast. It cooked itself.
Yeah, in a plate. Yeah, who was
God,
that
who wants to eat a soaking wet turkey?
Well, it makes me picture, those canned chickens?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like a whole cooked
like
chicken
Cam.
that's like slimy when it comes. Look at so much weed.
Farthing.
It's the good shit.
Oh, shit.
Long bottom leaf.
That's totally weed, eh?
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's what they said. Who was it? It was a thing with Ian McKellen when he's like, I think we all know what that weed is. This book being written in the 60s. Like, although he then calls it a hallucinogenic. I'm like, maybe you don't know what it is, buddy.
Well, maybe this stuff's stronger.
Probably.
You hallucinate on this shit big time.
Yeah. I like that too, where he's like, we should share this with Treebeard. Oh, probably not. Probably somebody he knows. I like, well, what's going on in there? What are they laughing at? Are they laughing at me?
You just got to contact either Snowbeard or whatever your name is.
That'd be amazing. He goes, oh, this is some good shit. Love it.
Yeah. There it is, going the old sewers.
And this is a great way. That actually looks like the sewer or whatever that. Oh, I just hit it twice. That they come out of in The Matrix 2. You know, when like they make their first entrance
Yes.
there. It looks like they're going into where they come out.
You should see Neo and somebody run out. Jada Pinkett
Just
Smith
past
runs
each
out
other.
of there.
Yeah. Squiddies are everywhere. We got bigger problems out here. This is actually a really good one too because the you get a little bit of, hey, what's going to happen in the next episode type thing. Right?
Yep.
He's like, oh, you have. Hey, he's like, oh, it's not just a straight shot to Mount Doom from here. You got a lot more going on. That's dangerous. Don't do that. Meanest motor. I love the names of the places too. There we go. We gotta.
Look at the big eyeballs on that guy.
I'd rather not. But it's like, I feel it's one of those things like so many people have like poked holes. Again, they're like, I've outsmarted this movie. I poked holes in its logic. If the Eagles come and save them, why didn't they just get on the Eagles, go right to Mount Doom and just drop it in, right? I was like, do you not understand that something has, like a story has to have like conflict and stuff? Like it's supposed to have challenges.
Yeah, why don't they just call an Eagle right away? Eagle takes the ring, drops it in. Yeah, well, because the Eagle probably wouldn't make it there for one.
There's no such, well, no, but there's no such thing as a movie that couldn't be solved in like 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I mean, like...
Give them the disc.
Like, what if in Saving Private Ryan, they knew exactly where he was? They got a friggin'... they got the letter to... Or they got notice to him and he got out. Like, that could have happened just as easily as sending out a group of people to find him.
Oh, see, Sam, I forgot about this. He told him right here, you know, he didn't mean to friggin' fuck with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's still there. I love that it's so forward. Like, he did so well. Because, I mean, reading that in The Hobbit, which I did read because that was required reading. But the, reading about him and that is, like, it was hard to picture. It was hard to give something to him.
I agree with you. Well, it was a really short book, right?
Yeah.
So they don't really go into detail about a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
I remember reading that book, though. I remember him running into him down in the caves. And
I read it not too long ago. It was probably a couple of years ago now.
It was a grainer.
And it was just, it was so fast. And it was just one of those things. And it's exactly like I said, like, oh, and then Bilbo gets knocked out. And then he wakes up and the war's over and Gandalf's sitting next to him. And you're like, oh, Gandalf, what are you doing here? Oh, yeah, I was fighting a huge thing over here. There's something really bad coming. Oh, wow. Okay, but everything's cool now. He's like, well, Thorin's dead. So that's not great. Oh, that's really sad. But you going to go home? Yeah, I'm going to go home now. Okay, cool. And then, like, his next challenge is, hey, you're selling my stuff, but I'm alive. Are you? Yep. Okay. Canceled. Like, auction canceled. Like, it's so...
Auction canceled.
Yeah, it's so fast. That's, I mean, I don't like to look down on things that are an easy read. Like the Hunger Games are an easy read. You could read...
it's for kids or whatever.
Yeah, but, well, it's the youth kind of thing, but it's, like, even still, you can...
It's pretty easy.
You know, like the Harry Potters are much, like they're for a younger group and it's a much more difficult read.
Right. Well, they get more difficult as it goes along.
Yes, that's true. Well, because they grew up with the
people, right? I thought it was a smart idea, actually.
Yeah. But but like there's such a simple read, but it's like, it's nice because then it just puts everything in your mind. You just let your mind extrapolate from the story and like, you're like, oh man.
Samwise the Brave.
Oh yeah, I loved that.
Todd Murray the Flatulent.
Mm-hmm. I
want to be Todd Murray. Oh, poor Gollum. Look at him.
Wow. It's like...
He's fighting with himself now. He's like, no, don't do this to me again, you fucking asshole. Get out of here.
I hate having this kind of like disappointment. It's like, oh,
I think we all have this kind of thing in us, though. I'm constantly arguing with myself about things.
Yeah.
You do that? Like...
Mostly mine is just about murdering the people.
Yeah. I'm like, should I push this old woman in front of the bus?
Yeah.
I'm like, do it, Todd. And I'm like, yeah, do it, Todd.
Yeah, the angel and devil agree about everything for Todd. See, again, and there's so much foreshadowing into the next movie, too. I always wonder if, like, that was the plan. Like, was this to be the beginning of the last movie, and then it foreshadows what happens later?
Right.
Or did they decide, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we backed it off, put it in this movie, and then you have something to look forward to, you know, if you don't know what's
well, like I said, I think that the spider attack and one of the battles happens at, like, the same time.
Yep.
So they switch them around, right, to make it, you know, more of a movie.
Yeah.
Rather than a book, because books have different pacing and different, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, in the
we
books,
could let her do that.
again, I think in the second book, they actually tell the 3 stories separately. Like, they don't go back and forth.
Yeah,
like,
it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, here's Frodo and Sam and Gollum from beginning to end, and then here's...
So, and that's why he said, like, so when you get to the end of that story, there's a battle, you get to the end of that one, so you can't tell the same, because then...
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm looking forward to what they can possibly do with this, if they put the right money behind it and the right effort behind it to do the TV show.
I hope it's not all green screen.
There will be some. It depends on where they shoot, I guess.
Right.
But I just like the idea, if you put all that effort behind, then you can give each of these scenes like each scene is basically an episode. So it's you can. You know,
I think the battles or whatever might be a little longer.
Well, the battle will be like half a season, but
that would be awesome. Really feel the weight of the story, right? Like it takes forever. Literally like 3 episodes of them just nice shot, eh? That's where they're going.
Oh, so good.
That's where you're going, baby.
You got it. And
I'd climb into there to save the world.
I'd climb in there to end it.
See?
Volcano.
Fucking A. We got 2 separate paths.
Right, yeah.
That's a good story.
Exactly.
We used to be best friends doing a podcast. Yeah. Now we're forced, but we still like each other. We just know that we have 2 different goals now.
We have what we got to do. I don't think we're not going to keep you.
No, don't keep me for God's sakes.
Well, the last time,
Jesus Christ.
Well, the last
I'm
time
hurting.
The last time we did the credits for one of these movies, we were just naming names by the end of it,
making names up.
There are in the theatrical version of this movie, there are 550 something names in the credits. Oh my God! Not counting that
was the exact number of just the people that did background graphics for Black Panther.
Pretty much.
That movie had the longest credit sequence. I'm like, thank God they had 5 Easter eggs, because like, holy fuck, man.
I know, it was really something. Just a few little points before we get going. This score was apparently deemed ineligible for the Oscars.
What?
Because there was a rule in place that you couldn't be nominated if themes, so if you were a sequel and you used themes from the original score, then you didn't qualify for the...
whatever.
Because basically it was like you were copying a different score kind of thing.
Right, even though you did it yourself.
So they apparently it was a very unpopular rule amongst the Academy and stuff like that, and they got rid of it, but it was too late.
Too late.
And then they really wanted Bjork to sing the final song. But she was pregnant and didn't want to go do it.
She's feisty. She is feisty.
So they ended up giving her a bunch of
I love that woman.
Yeah, she was pregnant with a troll baby. That's what I pictured. She's just like
a glowing troll baby.
Either that or her vagina opens up and it was that truck with teeth from Army
Me. Yep.
But
I got her new album too. I bought it just because I love Bjork, and I was like, I don't like this album very much.
No,
but the ones that are good are fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. And you just reminded me I have to get one of her albums tonight on iTunes. Fuck it. I pay for my music still, people.
Hells yeah. I steal them for Todd.
And I pay him.
I don't believe in music.
Man, he's making money.
Music doesn't exist. Your ears just hear sounds.
Musicless world.
But yeah, so anyways,
all I hear is pain.
I can hear the screams of my victims. But the
how many victims?
Well, I don't know. A lot of people feel victimized by my existence. So it is what it is. I can't. What's the old thing? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change the things I can. These are kinds of things I can't change. I accept them, so it's fine. Whatever. But Which is really, it should all be out the window because I'm an atheist.
Please give me
but
the strength to accept my impotence and my extreme ugliness and the suicidal thoughts and that puppy I drown.
Embrace the thoughts. But yeah, so anyways,
Join me.
They really wanted her. They really wanted her involved to co-write and sing the song though, and she couldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. So they were like, "Well, look, we're gonna bring you some people, and will you help us pick the person to take it over?" It's like, we want a sound that's kind of like that's evocative of you type thing. So they picked the girl, and then they ended up firing that girl.
No shit.
So they went to Emiliana Torini. Ended up being the one who sang the song. So
is she the one? Whoa, is that her too? Like in the elf scenes, like where he's talking to what's her name? Is that her kind of, or is that Enya?
No, it's neither. Enya's, I think, at the end. I think she sings the theme from the end of the first movie. I'm pretty sure it was her. Yeah, let's ask. Okay, Google. Who sang the theme at the end of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring? Right out.
Here you go. The first result is from Wikipedia.
That doesn't tell me anything, you stupid bitch.
I'm not a stupid bitch. Why did you ask me that question?
I know it was sang in a minor key. Fuck it. But anyways,
Fuck 'em.
And then what's her face? Annie Lennox did the third one.
Annie Lennox.
Well, I was thinking, I was just tricking my brain because I knew Annie Lennox did it, but then I was thinking Billy Boyd, but I'm like, no, Billy Boyd sings in that one, but he sings the theme in the final Hobbit movie. Is what they hired.
They should have had an alternate cock rock soundtrack. The two towers. Power.
Stand tall.
Yeah, exactly right. Like
that would be amazing. There, I would love to see that as like, so yeah, an alternate thing that somebody could like edit or something like that. All different score. It's all
right.
It's all like electronica and stuff like that. There's actually, I can't remember the name. Safety Last, that movie that they talk about or they reference in Back to the Future, you know, when he's hanging from the clock. It's the old silent movie. In St. Catharines, I think it's this month, they're doing a thing where they play that movie with an improvised orchestra.
Oh, cool.
So like there's all like a band who's playing music behind it, but it's just whatever they want.
That's cool.
So picture that. But
Yeah,
again,
I like that. Kind of like my life.
All right. So we're going to say goodbye here. So we're going to get back to normal next week. We're going to have another mini episode, and we'll announce the movie after that. You know, it's summertime. We'll try and pick up some more summer blockbustery fun. I don't know. We haven't decided yet, so fuck it. But, yeah,
Just kind of flying by the seat of her pants here.
In the meantime, while you're waiting, as always, go back. Like, we've got so many episodes. Just like, you know, we've got a lot. We've got hundreds of hours of content at this point. Go back and find something waiting for us.
There isn't even a feed of this shit.
What? Nothing.
This ain't even like WWE.com or Netflix, man. This is just free goodness.
It's free unless you want to just give us money.
It's free now.
You're like, fuck, I gotta just give you
Get
money
on board now because this is going to cost a shit ton later.
Get in on the ground floor.
That's right.
Because eventually we're going to buy a 2-story building. But, yeah. But in the meantime, so, you know, find us on miscastcommentary.com. Twitter, I'm at miscastpodcast. I'm at JK Finley. Todd's at miscasttodd. Find our YouTube page as well, like our Miscast Podcast, Miscast Commentary YouTube page, but also our Miscast TV YouTube page.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing.
Find our sketches there. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things that you're supposed to also be doing to our podcast. Do them to our YouTubes as well. Yeah, what else? So what else do I have to tell you? Really not much.
That's about it, eh?
No,
Keep
that's
it fucking real out there, man.
So it's been a pleasure doing another Lord of the Rings. We got one
It
more.
has, I agree.
We got one more of these for you, and then we'll have to figure out what the next.
Oh my god, and then the next one's
series
like
is.
4 hours for real.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
This one was only 3:30.
I was considering maybe breaking that up into 3 episodes, but we'll see how it goes.
3 episodes. Whoa.
Yeah, we'll see how it happens. It depends on
well,
how
you
long
know,
each chunk is.
we'll feel it out.
We'll feel it out. We'll see how tired we are. But
essentially, it's like we're trapped in the booby room blindfolded.
Yes.
We're just feeling around.
Feeling around.
We're
all
feeling
the
our big
trees.
boobies, little boobies, flat boobies.
Mhm.
Boob, racks on racks on racks.
Exactly. You know, boobs.
You know, just feeling it out. Just going along.
Feeling the boobs.
Putting that tail on that old fucking donkey, eh?
Who's the donkey? I thought we were in the boob room. Why are we in the donkey room? All of a
There's a
sudden?
donkey on there too, just to throw you right off. Yep.
I always end up at the donkey
You've been
show.
fondling a donkey's ass.
I'm-
Like, these are some nice titties.
Hey, as long
These
as
are
there's a
Wookiee
couple-
titties.
As long as there's a couple things on there that feel kind of nippleish, I'm on board.
Oh, there's lots of stuff.
Okay, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I have a disease now, but
Bray of the donkey. Dinning in the bray of the donkey.
Todd's playing an air guitar that looks a lot like he's tickling somebody's balls while he's jerking.
Tickle
off.
the donkey.
But
Yeah, that's our new hit song after the Twin Towers of Love.
yeah, exactly.
Tickle the donkey.
It's a super group that features us, the drummer from Dawkins.
No, let's have the
And-
drummer from the Presidents of the United States of America.
Oh God. Yeah, the guy with a kick drum
Oh,
and a
no,
cymbal.
he got rid of the kick drum. Times are tough. He just has a cymbal now.
Nice.
He is awesome.
He doesn't even have a drumstick. He's just whatever. Like he's got he's got a broken GI Joe that he like uses to smack.
Whatever you can find.
Millions of peaches, peaches for me. All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Later.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.
Oh, bye.